Good evening, everyone. Welcome to True School Sports. Here's Pops right now. Welcome again. We're going to talk some more boxing. The biggest thing that we're going to talk about today, for some reason, we always come around and get back to the same topic, the 135-pound division. You know who we have over there. We got Kambosos, who just recently beat Teofimo. You got Devin Haney. You got Ryan Garcia. You got Tank Davis, so forth and so forth. But the biggest news today that I see is that Kambosos, George Kambosos, and Devin Haney are in negotiations for a fight to happen in Australia sometime, I think in June, between June 2nd or the 4th of June, to happen in Australia. So, accordingly to George Kambosos, his team sent the contract to Eddie Hearns. They're actually reviewing the contract right now, so we'll see what happens. Me personally, I just want this fight to happen. I want to see what Kambosos is going to do. I know one thing for sure. I'll get to the comments in a minute. I know one thing for sure. That Kambosos team is not going to wait around for Devin Haney. To me, it's like a one in chance, hit and miss chance. This happened because originally the fight was going to be Lomachenko versus Kambosos, the Emperor, in Australia, but because what's going on in my pressure, Ukrainians war over there with Russia, Lomachenko wasn't able to go ahead and make the fight. He turned the fight down because it's more important to him to be with his country than fighting for his country than being in the ring fighting for just not trinkets, but getting a belt. So after the war, if it's possible, then he will digress and come back and fight again. But as that being said, Kambosos has to make a move what he wants to do, and I think it works out perfectly for Devin Haney, because Devin Haney's been waiting for a shot. And if I'll be honest with you, if Devin Haney, if Lomachenko was in the picture, I don't think Devin Haney would have got a shot to even fight Kambosos, even with the WBC belt, because Kambosos claims that he's undisputed with just those other belts that he got. He got more than enough belts. So I mean, things happen for a reason. We know how boxing is; it changes 1 minute to another. We don't know what's going to happen today. Tomorrow they'll tell you something else. So we just have to go say. But Eddie Hearn sounds confident that they're going to work out something. I know that they do have a deadline. I think the deadline, if I was reading right, is tomorrow. So tomorrow, if they don't by the end of tomorrow, if they don't come up with something, the Haney Kambosos fight will be off, and then Kambosos is going to have other options. Let me see that. Kenneth says, I feel Top Rank will find a way to not make this happen. Hope I'm wrong. Well, we'll see, Kevin. If we won't know right now, the only option we have right now is that that's only having David Haney and the Haney father trying to negotiate the fight. They have a deadline. Eddie Hearns, if he really wants this fight, got to get it done. Damon Slater says, Kevin Effect, I'm on same boot. Kambosos is gonna find a way out. Everybody feels that Kambosos is ducking David Haney. I don't think so. I don't think it's all about that. I think the issue with that for me is he's got to make sure the bag is right, the money's right, because hypothetically, if he loses to Kambosos, he's not going to give him the belts back, and then he's not going to have that big chance again. So he's got to take his time, call the shots the way he wanted. I think him fighting, if he had fought Lomachenko, it would have been a bigger draw in Australia than I think Haney. What's up, Eddie Morales? What's going on? That's right, the one and only True School Sports. Yeah, we're just talking about the news. We don't know when it's to be definite. We just know that George Kambosos is in negotiations with the Haney group team to try to get this fight done to replace the original fighter who was supposed to be Lomachenko. Juan says, "Huepa pa que lo sepa." Juan says, Lou DiBella sent offer. I'm confused. Lou DiBella don't have a network, know the money like Eddie Hearns. I don't get it. Lou DiBella is actually the promoter and I think the manager for George Kambosos. So he's got the A side. He's got make the calls and do what he's got to do to get the best thing for his fighter in George Kambosos. So he doesn't have to. He is the promoter. He is the promoter for Kambosos. So that's why he's involved. Lomachenko and Usyk manager said that everyone is lying. Well, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. I was just reading a few hours ago that they were saying that Usyk was going to go ahead and come back, and the Ukrainian ministry is going to let Usyk come back and let him go fight, and that Usyk was going to come back and actually go ahead and start training for the Joshua fight, because Eddie Hearns has got a deadline for that. But then I was reading right after I'd seen that Usyk decides to stay back in the war. So we really don't know. We do know one definite thing. Both fighters are dedicated to their country. Their priority is actually being there for Ukraine and again fighting against Russia. That we definitely know. The fighting for either Lomachenko or for Usyk can come later after the war. It's not priority over what they're going through right now. Yeah, well, the thing is with Mike, Mike Hubbard just sometimes jumps the gun, and in the past, he tends to go ahead and go ahead and get on Twitter and say things that are not actually 100% factual. But that's not saying that what he's saying now is not true or not. He just has the reputation of jumping the gun. Saludos, SUM. How you doing, man? Yeah, and ESPN, that's right. So that's just Mike Coppinger doing that. But I think Kambosos better jump on this real quick. Kambosos, Devin Haney better jump on this real quick, because I'm going to tell you right now, if the deadline, what I hear is right, is tomorrow, whenever it's going to be, that they say the fight, that Kambosos, if Devin Haney don't come up with something real quick, you can forget it, because Kambosos got other options. I'm telling you that right now. And one of the biggest options that I'm afraid that might happen, and that's just me saying my own opinion. There's no facts, nothing out there. But I do remember last week that De La Hoya came out and said, if Ryan Garcia, hear what I say, if Ryan Garcia wins his fight against Tugboat, he will be, De La Hoya is going to try to negotiate the fight with Kambosos. So if Devin Haney and his team go to sleep on this, I guarantee you, and I will put money on it, that Kambosos can sit back. He doesn't have to rush anything. Negotiate with Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is actually one of the biggest sellers when it comes to putting people in the seats and social media and everything. And he will make, believe me, he will make money if that fight ever happens between him and Kambosos. So, the dominoes are going to fall sooner or later. So if Devin Haney and them don't get it done, you can guarantee, I'm saying right now, you can guarantee if Garcia goes out, puts an excellent performance against Tugboat, right after that, De La Hoya is going to jump on it, because money's everything. You know what they say, money talk, bullshit walk. So that would be a great fight. If Kambosos does fight Garcia, as far as money goes, it's more attractive. Devin Haney's he's big. People know who he is, but he's not going to sell like a Lomachenko or like a Garcia. You got to look at that. One that says Eddie Morales, where did Loma manager told this? He said it. You can go boxing scene and he'll talk about it. Go to Eddie Hearns' Matchroom, and you're gonna hear all kinds of back and forth. Pops, I actually think Kambosos beats Haney. Sadly, listen. I'm not a big fan of Haney. I think he's I gotta still give him his props. He's undefeated. He's 27 and with 15 knockouts. I gotta give him his props. Give his father his props. As much as I don't agree with it, but I don't think. Sometimes you can talk a good game, but I don't think that it's gonna be an easy fight for Haney. If anything, he's gonna go to Australia and beat the shit out of Kambosos. He got it all wrong. Doing good, Pops. If Haney vs. Kambosos happens, do you think Kambosos might try hard to please crowd and look for KO? I don't think so. I think Kambosos is going to go in here. He's going to, he fought, and I'm going to say it again. I think him fighting Teofimo was better, in my opinion, was better than fighting Devin Haney. That's my opinion. I think that was a tougher fight for him than for him fighting Devin Haney. That's not taking nothing away from Devin Haney. I just feel that Kambosos had a tougher fight with Teofimo. I think Teofimo was more talented. Just that night he wasn't there. I don't know. I don't think at this point, it doesn't matter how Kambosos wins, as long as he gets his titles, as long as he gets that WBC belt and close his coffin on Kambosos and go back, like you said, once that close the coffin on Kambosos, he's already confident that even when they do fight in Australia, he's already beaten his mind. He's already beaten Devin Haney, and he's already saying, I'm going after Lomachenko when he comes back. So he's already got on his mind. What's up, Carl Kangaroo Hansen? Shout out. Salute, Pops. Kambosos, Ussies. You're right, Kambosos. People are getting frustrated with him because they're saying that he's ducking Haney. He ain't ducking Haney. He's taking his time. That's what I would do. I mean, it's low risk, low reward. You don't know what's going to happen when you get in that ring, if you're going to walk away with those belts again or not. So you got to take your time. If you know you can make more money from the Lomachenko fight and he can't take it there, and you can make more money from the Garcia fight because he sells more than Haney, so be it. But if you want to close a coffin and take that WC belt from Haney, then do that. So yeah, he's going to be tough to beat. People are still doubting him. People say he's got a big head. He's become a diva. He's calling the shots now. He wasn't like that before. Hey, every fight gets those 4 belts, they got to be the A side because they don't know when they're going to lose it. So they got to talk the trash. At the end of the day, you got to have the money right or the fight's not happening. He says, Twitter. Okay, you got the information from Twitter. Carl Kango Hands. This was the only channel on YouTube that gave any boxing Ussies the time of day. Of course, you got to, man. That's one thing about BT. BT is like that. BT he does his homework. He talks about like this Ussies, Japanese and everything, and he deserves his respect. He sure does because even just recently when he interviewed Michael McKinson, what did Michael McKinson say in the interview? He said, "You were the only channel that was pulling for me and gave me a slight chance against Virgil." He picked Virgil to win, but you were the only channel that called me out and talked good about me. So when you got a smaller fighter that doesn't have a big avenue and you can bring out the audience like Brendan does, I think that's the most special thing. So it's a blessing. I'm glad that he's done that. We know who Harry Centennial is, who was Kambosos' trainer. We've seen him down here in Dayton, the Sweatbox Gym. So kudos to Kambosos. Kudos to the Ussies. They came in here and they fucking won't take no shit from nobody. Not from Teofimo Sr., not from Teofimo, and they proved it. So shout out to the Ussies. And I'm really excited for another Ussies that's fighting this week. I'm really excited for that card. I'm really excited for Team Zoo. So the Ussies they're coming. People better watch out for them because they're coming. Scott, I thought Lopez would blast Kambosos out in the first round, but he proved me and the world wrong. Haney has never impressed me. I'm with you on that one. He's never impressed me, but that being said, he's still undefeated. He's got 15 knockouts. Yeah, I say the same thing. I've been saying the same thing. Like, you know, to me, he hasn't really shown me that he's got that killer instinct in him. What I like about Kambosos that people actually doubted him was that he went in there with supposedly killing Teofimo, and he came in there and he embarrassed him and put a beating on him that nobody thought he could do. So you got to put respect on Kambosos. You got to give the flowers to Kambosos. The man didn't have anybody in his back. Everybody was going for Teofimo, and he did what he was supposed to do. And the most circumstances in New York City where they weren't even favoring him to, and then at the end of the day, they ended up cheering for him. So shout out to the Ussies. Yeah, BT should be here sometime. I don't know when he's gonna be, but he'll be here. He'll definitely be here. He's busy, got a hands full, but he'll be here, and you definitely talk to him. Will Ryan have to travel to Australia to? Yeah, of course. The A side is Kambosos. Kambosos can call the shots the way he wants. He said after he beat Teofimo, I want my fight. Supposedly going to be fighting in Marvel Stadium in Australia that holds over 53,000 spectators. So shout out to that. And he's the A side. No matter who they fight, they're gonna have to go to Kambosos' backyard. I'll be honest with you. If Devin Haney and Eddie Hearn sleep on this, they're not gonna get another chance. And I truly believe what Brandon was saying. I believe that ultimately Ryan Garcia will make the fight after the tugboat. De La Hoya will make that fight after the tugboat fight. What's going on over there, P? How you doing, man? What's to do with the do? Kambosos stops Haney in 10 rounds. If Haney has balls enough to fight and not, yeah, we'll find out. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Even Kambosos said, you better hurry up and get on that flight because it's a 19-hour flight. Basically, tell him I went through a lot of shit to get these belts. I'm going to make it hard on you, too. I ain't going to make it easy on you because it wasn't easy for me. I mean, when they first met after Kambosos won the belts, he came out, Devin Haney face to face with him, with his dad. Said, let the boss talk. That Kambosos says, I will fight you if the money is right. There you go, right there, says it all. If the money's right, is because Haney's gonna get the same contract that they offered Lomachenko. I don't know how much they offered Lomachenko for the fight, but whatever it is, he's getting the same contract. There's no if or buts. There's no bending the rules. You're gonna get the same amount. So if it was me, if I was Devin Haney and Pops, Devin Haney, I would just take the contract, go to Australia, get them opportunity with the Undisputed champion, and let me see if I can try to kick his ass. Because you're not gonna get another chance. I'm telling you right now. If you don't do that, I'm putting money on it. Kambosos got a lot of options, and I'm seriously thinking that he's gonna take Garcia. He can fight Tank Davis. Believe it or not, you got Rolly. You got all these other fighters that are in line. So don't think that. I mean, Eddie Hearn's coming out. He's a good salesman. He comes out and says, "Oh no, that Kambosos don't have no other option." He's got options. Don't get it twisted. He doesn't give a fuck about the WC belt. He's got three of the four belts, and he's got the ring belt. He doesn't give a shit about that belt. But because people are calling, because it's only right. I think it's only right that he does fight Devin Haney and give him the opportunity. Then so be it. But Devin Haney better not sleep on this opportunity because it's not going to come again. Kimmy said, Galana also gets a blooming onion and chicken off the Barbie after Haney takes his belts in the Outback. Yeah, well, whatever, I don't get it, but whatever that means. Is Teofimo ready for title fight in his first fight at 140? No, they're not gonna just put Teofimo 140 up like that. He's gonna have to wait his turn. He's gonna have to fight somebody in the 140 that get him back acclimated with that weight and see how he does, and eventually he's gonna get that, but he's gonna have to earn it. It's not just gonna be just because he's Teofimo they're gonna give him this shot. No, I don't think it's going to be pay-per-view as far as I know. I think it was, if I'm correct, I said ESPN. I don't know right now. I don't think it's going to be pay-per-view. I mean, who's going to go pay for that fight? I think if it was Lomachenko or maybe, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what the negotiations are. Everything changes any minute. Black Last Ice Kambosos is losing June 5th. Well, you know what? We said the same thing when he fought Teofimo. We said the same thing when he traveled over to get to that position. I'm not putting that past anybody. I think he can talk the talk, walk the walk, because he's got all the belts. And until he gets beat, because that's what happened to Teofimo. He started talking shit, instead of dedicating to the fight the way he should have, and ultimately he lost for the same reason. So he's got three of the four belts. He's got the ring magazine belt. Until he loses that, you got to give him some credit. You can't sleep on that. That's right, Orlando Martinez. Don't everybody ever forget it. Kambosos is the emperor. That's right. He is the emperor, and he can call the shots any way he wants. Because if anybody was the A side, they would be doing the same thing. Look at how long Teofimo had the belts and talk shit and did this and did that. So give him his flowers and let him do what he's got to do. Kimmy says, suspect. What do you mean by that, King Minch? This is a two-fight deal. If Haney completely outclasses Kambosos to an ECUD, should Kambosos go for the rematch? Well, that's one of the sticking points. But if you guys know anything about all the Eddie Hearn's title fights, he's always got a rematch clause in it. So I wouldn't doubt it if Kambosos wins. If he wins, Haney will have he could have the rematch, but it will be in the U.S. And vice versa. But he always got. Remember what I tell you? Eddie Hearn's always got a rematch clause on all his fucking title fights. I don't know why, but he does. To me, I think this fight might actually be very slow at times. I see Haney being very conservative and Kambosos the same until he feels the pressure to win. Then turns it loose by the 6. You saying Kambosos or you saying Haney? I think Haney's gonna. I'll be honest with you. I think Haney, knowing how people are looking at him, knowing his style of fighting, he even came out and was saying in one of the articles. He was saying You can have all the speed in the world. Kambosos, you can have all the speed in the world, but I'm going to have the timing. That's what Devin Haney told Kambosos. I'm going to have timing. So you can be as fast as you want. You can bomb Archer you want, but my timing was going to catch you. That's what Devin Haney said. Lots of people going to miss it different times here and there. Lots of people going to miss it different times here and there. Yep. No, I mean, basically is you just got to find out the time zones, find out what time to start, and pay your pay-per-view. If it's on ESPN Plus or whatever it's on, just go do it on the time. It's going to be different zones, but it'll be in your time zone as it will be over here. Okay, Mitch. All right, we'll find out, okay, Mitch. I mean, I'm not gonna disrespect Kambosos like that because, like I say it again, Kambosos came in here. He did everything he's supposed to do. Went to New York, fought Teofimo, who everybody had heavily favored, and then battered him. So I'm not taking nothing from him. I'm not. I think until he loses his belts, until Devin Haney can go in there to the Australian, to his backyard, and do with all the pressure on him, because there's gonna be a lot of pressure on him. People say there's gonna be more pressure on Kambosos. I don't think so. I think there'll be more pressure on Haney trying to take the belts away from him. ONSS says, Devin Haney's getting a taste with his own medicine since Haney likes to offer bullshit. Yeah, well, that's the problem too. That's the problem too. And that's the problem that I like about Haney. Haney, you know, he comes from money. I think his uncle is Zab Judah. He signed with Eddie Hearns. He's got money. Eddie Hearns, if you want to make money off this fight or whatever, you want to make this fight and you think that Devin Haney is the best 135 pounder, you better put up for the fight, because I'm telling you right now, Kambosos is not going to sit there and play this back and forth contract bullshit. He's not. But he can go to Garcia, go to Tank, go to Rolly, go whoever. You know what I mean? He's got other options. Eddie Hearns, he doesn't, but he does got other options. The only reason that he's fighting Haney is because he got a WC belt and he wants to put that to rest. Put that question the other way around as well. If Kambosos easily beats Haney, does he take the rematch? Of course he's going to take the rematch. Of course he's going to take the rematch. Why not? I mean, and that probably might be the second point. Kambosos might say, I'm the A side. I don't want a rematch. I don't want a rematch. You know what I'm saying? The same thing that Teofimo did to Lomachenko. I'm not saying that Kambosos can do that, but Kambosos can call the shots the way he wants to. I don't care what Eddie Hearns says. Oh, we're going to have a rematch. You're not the A side, Eddie Hearns. Devin Haney, you're not the A side. You have to negotiate the way the Emperor wants it. Yo, Pops, who should Cam fight if Haney doesn't take it? Opponents available: Andrew Ferrero, Isaac Cruz, William Zepeda, Zawar, Jojo Diaz, Richard Comey. Yo, Pops, who should Cam? Well, this is a 135. We're talking about 140, right? Kamei's, he's not going to fight any of them. I'll tell you right now. He's not going to fight any of those guys you got there. I'm telling you, he's going to fight. If he loses, if David Haney don't jump on this, I guarantee you, he's going to go with De La Hoya and Garcia. That's where he's going to go. And if that don't happen, he's still got 10. But I mean, that's what's going to happen. He's got other options, and I think he's going to pick the best option that's going to make him some money. Milky Way. Kambosos is going to KO Devin because Devin is from California, and everyone who is from California is naturally born soft. Okay, Milky Way. I'm just not sleeping. I'm just not going to sleep on Kambosos. People are saying he's become a diva, that he's ducking Devin Haney, that he doesn't want to be with them, that he's doing, you know what? I would do the same thing. Take my time in negotiating. And if it tells me to call you out and tell you shit and talk Twitter to you, that's what boxing is, talking trash. Bottom line is, I'll never forget, like I told you guys, after the fight, when they met in the auditorium, when Devin Haney walked up to Kambosos, he says, if the money is right. So the money's got to be right. Kambosos says, what bullshit offers has Andy made to fighters? Linares paid. Jojo got his biggest purse. Apparently, I don't know the money. I don't know how much, because I was trying to look. I'm glad you asked that question, because I was trying to read up to see what was actual contract offered to Lomachenko and what was Haney going to get on this. But what I'm saying is Haney's got to pay. Haney can't take no pay cut. If motherfucking if Kambosos says I want $10 million for this fight, I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's going to be. I want $10 million, and this is what I want with no rematch clause. You can't sit there and diddle-daddle with him. He's going to fucking cut you right off. I mean, I think they got a deadline by tomorrow. They don't get the shit done by tomorrow. This fight's not happening. And then I told you, he's got the option with Tank. He's got Rolly. I know they got fights coming up. He's got Garcia. And for me, I think Garcia sells no matter where he goes with his social media back and everything. And that's the thing. Money talks, bullshit walks. Haney's gonna pull off this fight. Watch. Yeah, I'm not saying he can't. I'm not doubting that he can't. But I'm not gonna sit in and discredit Kambosos either. I mean, Haney wants this fight because and this is the funny part that I was reading today, which makes it really interesting. Eddie Hearns thinks that if Devin Haney gets the belts from Kambosos, that he's automatically gonna climb up the charts and be a superstar. Well, I got news for you. It just doesn't happen that way. You have to be able to sell. You have to promote yourself. You have to be a household name with people. And I'll be honest with you, it's not how it's going to be. Even if he gets those belts, I think it's going to take him a while for him to get that big stardom name that he wants to be at, like a Floyd or whatever he says he wants to be like. I'm just saying it's not going to be as easy as he thinks it is, because one, people don't know much about Devin Haney unless you're asked to fight, or you're from New York or you're from California, but you really don't know much about Devin Haney. The style that he brings, I really don't like it. I think he could be more aggressive, could throw more punches and do more. But that's not saying I'm taking anything away from him. Because in the gym, he's a dog. He works out. He does everything. But I'm going to tell you right now what I like about Kambosos, what I like Australian fights, and I like what Tim Zeus the other day is. We're just ordinary people. We work hard. We sweat. We don't need to have the bling bling on and the attention and anything. We just here to fight. That's what it's going to be. And for you guys to tell me that Kambosos is just gonna fold like a steel chair, whoever he fights, somebody's gonna walk up and just take a title from his backyard, I don't think it's happening. Well, he must likely choose the WBO list first, which would be Ferrero or Cruz. I don't think so, bro. I mean, he's going after Haney because he wants a WBC belt. So I mean, at the end of the day, he can do whatever he wants to do. I honestly think if you think Cruz, if you're ever it's gonna sell over a Garcia, you're out of your mind. No, you crazy, Black Light. You don't want to give no credit. You don't want to give no credit to Kambosos. Nobody gave him credit before when he fought for Teofimo, and he fucked up Teofimo. Did you see what he did to Teofimo? You see his face? This is supposed to be Teofimo supposed to dominate that fight and put a beat on him. Did that happen? No. So you better give credit where credit is due. I give credit to Kambosos. I will also give credit, flowers to Devin Haney, but I'm not going to sit here and listen to what you tell me that it's going to be blatant robbery. I don't think so. I just think that if Devin Haney goes in there, to me, he's got to dominate, though. He's got to dominate the fight. He's got to push the fight to Kambosos, and he can't be in there taking his little technical shots, how he fights, swinging, and this and that. He's got to go in there and don't let the fight be to the judges. We've seen this replay before. Haney easily outboxes Kambosos. Well, we'll find out. That's why they have the fights. We'll find out. I think he's a talented fighter. I think he's 27-0 with 15 KOs for a reason. I haven't been giving him credit, but I have to respect him that he's still undefeated. He's got the WC belt, whether he wanted it or not, whatever we want to say, he still got it. So he's legit. I just think that if he can go to the Kambosos' backyard and actually go in there and beat Kambosos big time and show that he can take that belt easily, then I can give him some props. But until then, I'm not sleeping. I'm not just gonna not sleep. Put my money on Devin Haney. I'm not doing that. Brooklyn's Bushwhackers. Brooklyn, what's up? Haney will beat George easy work. Okay. I mean, I'm not saying he can't. He seems like the bigger fighter, but they say the same thing about Teofimo. And remember this. You think Teofimo was not is not as talented as Devin Haney? Come on, man. But I mean, I don't think it's gonna be easy work. Don't not sleep on the Ushi. People said that when he fought Teofimo and he proved everybody wrong. I think he could do it again. Boxing Hat, what's up? Nah, Kamba is only taking this fight because he basically forced to because Loma is in war. He was running from Haney because he knows he's gonna lose. Yeah, people been saying that. I mean, I don't know if he's been running from him, but I mean, he's telling him he's giving him a deadline. So maybe that's why he's giving him a deadline. Maybe he's saying, okay, I'm gonna make it more harder for you. If you don't get this done by tomorrow, you ain't gonna have another shot. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. But at the end of the day, it's all gonna come down to how Haney and his team handle the negotiations. Eddie Hearn doesn't make it. Just make Eddie Hearn sells a fight to them, and they agree with it, and they don't have to agree with it because he's the A side. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. It's not Haney. It's not Eddie Hearn. He's gonna do whatever the fuck the demands that Kambosos wants. And I mean, if it's easy work for him, we're gonna find out. I don't think so. A lot of people are not giving credit to Kambosos, but they should. I'm not saying that he's not gonna get beat, but then you can't just say, "Oh, it's easy work." You can't say that. You cannot say that. That's why they make the fights. The Hand History Vault says it's the other way around. Cam is forcing Haney to take the fight or have a public backlash. Either way, the ball is on Haney's part. He's gonna have to decide what he wants to do. He can't say that you're right what you're saying. He can't say that Kambosos didn't offer the fight. He's got a deadline to meet. If he wants to fight, he's gonna do whatever Kambosos asked for. Just go ahead and do it. Make the fight. Get the belt for Kambosos if you can, or vice versa. Whatever happens, and then you can be the A side and say whatever you want. I see this going. Anno Moro Professor says I see this going to be an easy fight for Haney because of the X factor, that being Mickey Bay, who fought Kambosos, and Bay is Haney's chief. I'm not gonna say that. I mean, yeah, he fought him, but that's not all Mickey Bay is. Mickey's giving him advice on how to do this and how to do that, and he fought him. But yeah, he can bring out things on about George Kambosos, but that was what, a few years ago. This is a Kambosos today who put a beating. You all fail to forget he put a beating on Teofimo. So I'm not going to discredit that. I'm not going to say that. I know that Haney is a very technical fighter. He comes in there and he's quick and he's got speed and he's got this and he's got that. So it's going to be a tough fight. But I'm not just I can't discredit either fighter. I wish them both the best. He might not be as skilled as Haney, but I'll tell you what he got. He got more power than Haney. I mean, he will be. I think if they both would have fought, and I gotta give respect. I think Haney called him out at one time, and Teo said no, whatever the case was, whatever the politics was, 135. But Teo will beat the shit out of Haney, beat him to a pole. But then we don't know because the fight never happened. We don't know because the fight never happened, right? Look what happened a few weeks ago to what's his name, B-Hop, little B-Hop, that beat up Garcia, unknown. The fights don't happen. We fucking can talk all day what's going to be, how easy it's going to be until it actually happens, under the lights. Teofimo fought, Kim says, Teo fought a stupid fight versus Kambosos. Haney won't do that dumb shit. He'll box like he always has. Yeah, I mean, Haney is a boxer. You can bring it to him. I just like to see Haney do more than that. And I'm very more aggressive, knockout punches. But he's gonna win any way he wants to win. He can box and he can fight. I get it. They say he's very talented. I get it. But Teofimo problem was he didn't lose. The reason he lost the fight was because he didn't train enough and he talked too much. If he had just focused on the fight and done what he was supposed to do and done his homework instead of advertising and going on Instagram and doing this and doing that and doing, I can do this, I can beat this guy with a takeover, and that's what happened. He became complacent and he underestimated his opponent, and look what happened. So I hope Haney takes notes from that and don't underestimate Kambosos. He fucked up one lung Teofimo. I give credit to Kambosos, but let's be real. What are you saying? So you're saying that so you're basically saying that this guy's it's gonna be a walk in the park for Haney. Get out of here with that shit. It ain't gonna be no damn walk in the park. He's gonna have he's got just as much pressure as Kambosos does, even more. All right, Harold, I'm gonna check him out. Let me see what you got. Where you at, Harold? Harold says, I don't see this fight happening. Why Campbell have a deadline on him? If he were to negotiate, that person would have more time and the date won't change. Yeah, you're right. You got a point there. That's what I'm saying. If Eddie Hearns cannot sleep on this. He got to get this done right away. If he gave him a deadline to get this stuff done, get it done. Matter of fact, it should already be done. They should be over there flying over to Australia as we speak, to be honest with you. I mean, a lot of people saying the same thing. This might not happen. And it might not happen. But how does Kambosos wash his hand? By say, hey, I gave him an opportunity. He just didn't make the deadline. And also, I see this fight. I see this going to be an easy fight for Haney because of the X factor. Nah, I went through this one. I'm sorry. Mickey Bay. I talked about that already. Make it back up here. EA Luke says Haney just clout chasing. Man, he better not be, man. He better get the shit done because he's not gonna get another opportunity. I'm telling you that right now. He better get the shit done. Eddie Hearns, you better do whatever you can out of your pocket and make this fight happen. Whatever demands Kambosos won, and you want to make this guy the undisputed or take all the belts from Kambosos, you better not sleep on it because I'm telling you right now, you're not gonna get another chance. Johnny Boy blocked me thanks to line. Johnny Boy blocked me thanks to line instigators. I'm not into all that stuff. I'm not back and forth, this and that. I could give a less shit about that. We're talking boxing. God bless you. What are you talking about, boxing hog? I don't get that. The hand is about to say, I think Kambosos should move on from Haney and fight Billy Dib, then fight Loma or Tank after. He's not gonna. The reason he's not just moving on from the Haney fight is because he's got that belt that he really wants to get, so he can put this close to Copper. Because even if he doesn't get that belt, and he has, like I said, the 3 belts in the Ring magazine, people are always gonna say you never went after Haney. But by him opening up and giving him the option to Haney to negotiate as soon as possible, then he can't say I didn't give him the opportunity. Tio was played by the zone boxers. They lied about his pre-medical exam. I don't know what happened with that, but whatever happened, whatever the case was, I mean, he had a bad lung or whatever from that fight. He had asthma. So, I mean, you have to do the protocols and you have to make sure that everything is right before you get into a fight. But there's no excuse. Teofimo got his fucking ass kicked by Kambosos. Okay. Did that already. Chael will beat Haney to a pulp, but Chael was dropped and beat by Kambosos. Yeah, I mean, but I'm just telling. What I'm saying is, you gotta give credit to Kambosos. He fought a stronger fighter in Teofimo, a heavily favored fighter that nobody thought Kambosos did, and Kambosos outworked him. And just I don't have to say now. Look at Teofimo's face. A picture's worth 1,000 words. That's all you have to do is take notes from that. So don't sleep on him. Flo Kick said, not saying it will be a walk in the park, but Haney will just outbox him. Tio probably knew he was gassing out quick due to the lung condition and wasn't able to fight the way he wanted. Nah, I think it had more to do than that. That's probably some of the reason, but it had a lot more to do than that. Jesus says, Pops, let's say Taylor vacates belts. WBC. Ramirez Regis. WBA. Zapata vs. Sandaman. WBO Arnold Barbosa vs. Cheryl Ortiz. IBF Antoine Russell vs. Montana. Love. Yeah, all those names are good. And let me tell you, out of all those names, who I really like a lot is Cepeda. I fucking like Cepeda. I think he's an animal. I think Cepeda will be a beast for anybody. And Antoine Russell coming up, he's another I want you to watch out. Taylor, I'm a big fan of Taylor still, but he's got to show me something, man. He looked like shit in his last fight with Catterall, and he's lucky they gave him a ride on that one because he didn't deserve that. Ramirez at 140, I like him too, but he's got to show me more. I think out of that, I will take Cepeda and Regis being the biggest big dogs out of that. All those fighters you just gave, named. Eddie Hearn has failed making a big fight with every one of his fighters. I mean, the only fighter that he's actually making fights or the fights are being made is for the face of boxing Canelo right now. That's who's really got to be, rubbing his back, cleaning his feet, whatever you want to call it. He's doing everything that's the face of boxing, and you just got him signed for a two-fight deal. So that's who's ever concerned. But Eddie Hearn is like that. He's gonna go with whatever. He'll put you out there with whatever he can expose you. He can make money off of you. He's about money. That's why he's about money. That promoter's all about money, not about giving you a legacy or giving a chance to fight. Look, Boo Andre. I'm not saying Boo Andre. I like Boo Andre. I think there's a reason people are not fighting him. But has he promoted Boo Andre like he should? No, he hasn't. He hasn't. There's other fighters that he hasn't done that. That's just Eddie Hearn's. Focus. I think Kambosos has a decent chance against Tank, since he has a chin. I'm not gonna say that. I mean, Tank is a beast in that ring. He's got power too. So Kambosos is a high volume puncher. He'll break you down like he did Teofimo, but let's give credit where credit's due. They both fought. If Kambosos fought Tank's gonna bring it too. People say Tank don't have no power. I think he's got power. I think, but I also say, like I say, Kambosos can break him down like he did Teofimo. But I think that was a fight. Kambosos better watch out because Tank was gonna bring it. Hello, pal. Haney came off a clout that recent people know him. He was known before, like fighting a known name. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, what was, he got Zab Judah, his uncle with him. Talking about Mayweather. I mean, he had all this connection within boxing to make him, but yeah, he's always had money anyway. So it wasn't like he lived in the streets and hustled his way to boxing, but he's always been around money. One thing I don't want to discredit Haney about is he's a smart kid. He has his own promotional company. I've seen him go out there and dedicate his time to the community. He's a good-hearted kid too, so we got to give credit where credit's due. I meant to say doctors, not boxers. Yeah, the doctors. I mean, the doctors got to make sure that things are right before they actually get clearance to the fighters. And if they knew that money was there and it was going to jeopardize, if you're talking about Teofimo, then the fight shouldn't happen. Okay, we got that. Haney will be focused. Could very well end up doing what Spence did on foreign soil to beat Kell Brook. It will be a tough fight, but I think Haney will. That's a good point. I never looked at it that way. That's a good point. I mean, you're right. Spence had to go across the pond and beat a strong at the time Kell Brook, and he did it and got the belt. So yeah, basically Haney's got to do the same thing. He's got to go across the pond, go in the backyard, listen to all the mushies, forget about them, and take care of the matter at hand. He's getting all those belts from Kambosos, which I don't think will be as easy as people think it will. Flow Kick says, I give credit to Kambosos. I think it's Teal's fault for not rematching the Loma. That's why he ran out of money and had to fire nutritionist Joey Camacho, who gave him his game plan. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. That was a big mistake by him. But then again, you got to understand, at that point in time, once Teofimo won all the belts, him and his father just went on a rampage talking shit about everything. They did more talking about shit in the gyms than they did actually working out in the gyms. And when you get to that point where you're talking shit, become complacent that you think walk over Kambosos. You don't never underestimate anybody, no matter what level they're in, because the fights are won inside the ring, no matter what quality of fighter you're fighting. Black Belt Ben said they better not sleep on Hitchens. Well, Hitchens got to come out and do something. I mean, I know he's decent. He's from New York. I don't know what's record. I don't know if he's still undefeated. What his record is, but I like him. But I have to see more from him. I got to see what he got. I don't think he's ready for the big dog. Haney was school T.O. who said something so stupid. Well, I'm gonna tell you again. You can say whatever you want, troll over here, whatever you want. The bottom line is, T.O.P. was a bigger boy than Haney, and he will beat the fuck out of Haney. I'll put money on that. I would put money on that. He will beat the shit out of Haney, straight up. Even though I know Haney called him out, wanted to fight, and T.O.P. was in his own cloud or whatever. But if that fight had it happened, he would have beat the shit out of Haney, straight up. If they can get an undisputed fight on their own with no extra cost, I think it makes up for PB for Canelo versus Bivol. Yeah, but Harold, actually, the zone actually reneged on that. They said, now they're saying, they were saying, no, I'm sorry. All you guys have been paying $20 a month. Well, guess what? We changed our mind. We need to make these big fights pay-per-view because they want to make more money. So they actually reneged on that, Harold. D. Also, you see that like button if you haven't. The face of boxing is Anthony Joshua, not Canelo. Okay, you must like Anthony Joshua. That's about it, because he's the face of boxing in British. He carried the British heavyweight titles for a long time over there, and he did great for him. But he's not the face of boxing. He makes big money. Don't get me wrong. He makes money too. He sells all the stadiums up there in the UK. But will he do the same thing in the United States? We'll see. I hope the fight happens so they can put Ebony Bridges and we can watch the weigh-ins. One that said, you always come up with some crazy stuff, man. You always come up with something crazy. Man, don't make me laugh, man. Hiro. Let me get Hiro. Man, if Haney goes to Australia, that means no church because he is felon. I don't know, Hiro. I don't know what he is. Okay, not Janelo. Okay, what am I got? Carl Kangaroo Hansen. Good luck blocking out 6,000. Yeah, I'm telling you, people don't understand. Haney's going to Australia where the Aussies are going to be loud as hell. They're going to be rowdy as hell. I mean, but this is what champions do. I mean, if Haney can go in there and do that, it'd be great. It'd be great if he can do that. But I just don't think that it's gonna. Kambosos didn't bend easy against Teofimo, and he said it before they fought in their final press conference. And he was always confident. He's a very confident fighter. He puts his time in the gym. So I think it's actually be a bigger test for Haney to go across the pond and deal with the Aussies, deal with the 53,000 in the stadium, and then deal with everything else there. He's not going to be in his comfort zone. So you do have a point. Shout out to the Aussies. And Haney, good luck to him too. I can't remember when the WBA regular became an interim champion, but I know there was one sanctioned fight that got rid of all the interim belts. So I forgot which one it is. It might be the WBA that got rid of all that stuff. So I don't know. Somebody gave me clarity on that. Okay, Hal Collins said that they'll probably make the fight preview on the zone. What's up? Next level boxing talk. I think Kambosos is not gonna fold, bro. I just think his work ethic. I think he worked too hard. He put his pregnant wife to all kinds of shit, going back and forth to the U.S. And now he's trying to give the same medicine to everybody else. And why not? He's the A side. He called the shots now. He's a motherfucking emperor. Put respect on Kambosos. People are not doing that. That's not taking it away from Haney or anybody else, but you got to put respect on him. He's got 3 of the 4 belts, and he's got the ring belt. Put respect on his name. When Canelo fights all Castro's order, it all Mexican clubs and get it also. Well, whatever, man. I mean, if you're popular, you know people are going to find a way to see the fight. How it may be, you already know Canelo sells no matter what. So I mean, the same thing could happen with the zone, and if they get their shit together and just be fair with what they want to do. All right, D, go ahead. This Pops, Joshua is the most famous current boxer around the world. Therefore, he's the face of boxing. Canelo is a niche cash cow and an icon or a particular demographic. Joshua is a worldwide phenomenon. All right, I'll hold you to that when he comes here and he sells out whatever stadium's over here. I don't even know how much he sold out on the Ruiz fight when he fought over here. He is. I mean, people know who Anthony Joshua is. I give you that. But in the UK, that's where he's really popular. I don't think he's as big in the US yet. I don't think so. But I will give you your respect. I understand what you say, and thank you for your comment. And you might be right, but as far as me, I don't think so. I think Canelo can go here, Mexico, anywhere in the U.S., and he'll sell automatically, faster than Joshua. This will be Haney's first real. Yeah, this will be Haney's real test, and it's like in life. You get an opportunity, you got to go get it, and you got to take it. You got to go get it, and got to go take it. Haney's been wanting this opportunity for a long time. He says he wants to be like a Floyd, and he wants to do this, and he wants to do that. Now it's the time for the young buck to stand up and go in there and take it. You got to take it, because Kambosos ain't going to give it to you. Kambosos ain't going to give you nothing. He making it hard on you, like not just on him, on anybody, just that they made it hard on him. So it's not going to be easy. Black belt, remember, said Teo was bound to lose to Kambosos. You could tell after the Loma fight, he should have been hired at coach training and moved his dad to the background. He game plan was horrible and made no adjustment. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right about that. If he did all that cutbacks and he was running with I always say don't if it's not broken, don't if it's not broke, don't try to fix it. And if he cut off his nutritionist. If he cut off whoever he did to make changes and had his crazy father just there, no. I think what they need to do now is bring another listening ear to help Teofimo. Hey, what's up, BT? Welcome to the channel. To help
what's good, Pops?
Succeed in the 140 listening ear. Welcome, BT.
What's up? What we talking about?
I'm just talking about Kambosos and Devin Haney. And you know what we think about Devin Haney. A lot of people are saying that it's going to be harder for Devin Haney to go across the pond with 65,000 ushers screaming and trying to get those belts. And then the topic was basically a lot of people saying that Kambosos gave Haney a deadline for this contract. I said, yeah, but whether he gave him a deadline or not, if they don't make that deadline, if they don't make it easy on the contract. Hey, Kambosos can always say, I gave you the opportunity. I honestly think what's going to end up happening, something's not going to work out with this, with him and Haney and Matchroom, because Eddie's going to sleep on it. And Garcia's going to be Tuggo, and Garcia's going to get the fight.
That sounds pretty legit. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds pretty legit. Like I could also see like a scenario where George makes an offer to Devin that they know Devin won't accept, a low ball offer. I could see George making a fair offer to Devin, and they find a way to back out. I mean, I could see all the scenarios playing out. I just hope.
I kind of wish that we found out we could find out what the actual, which we don't know, what the actual contractual thing they offer Lomachenko. And see, because it's the same contract that Lomachenko got. It's the same contract that Eddie Hearn and Devin Haney are going to get.
Yeah. So they say. You don't really know.
Yeah. So I just think that people are saying that it's going to be easy work for Devin Haney over Kambosos, and I was telling them I don't think it's going to be easy work. I said Kambosos fought.
Devin's going to beat George.
What happened?
Devin is going to beat George if they fight.
Yeah. So, I will say this. As long as he wins, and if he does it, whatever, I have to accept it, no matter how, as long as he get that win. But I don't think that Kambosos is going to fold like that.
I wanted to acknowledge a very special guest in the comment section. Shout out to my main man, one of the best channels on YouTube, Boxing Gems. If you're not subscribed to Boxing Gems, trust me when I tell you, you're missing out. and there's a lot of good information that my man Boxing Gems is putting out there for the boxing public. He really should be charging people for these breakdowns that he be doing. But yeah, he's doing a great job.
I was on his channel today, and I was watching David Morrell. I was watching the Philly Shuffle, the Philly Show. He's got great breakdown, great analyst how he does it. I think we should put Berlanga on his channel. Okay.
Yeah, I bet you. I bet you if you put Berlanga on his channel, he's gonna tell you that Berlanga need to learn how to freaking feint. He's coming in through the front door, following dudes in straight. I mean, I like Berlanga, but he's really making it hard for me to have any hope. Just coming in forward.
No, I'm just saying, the way he Boxing Jam breaks down the fights, and he just what I like about him, he's not just repetitious on when he does it. He literally breaks it down and shows you different ways on how to throw a different jab, how to move with angles. He doesn't just repeat everything about this. Like if you go to another channel or any boxing guy thing on YouTube, you do the jab like this and that's it. No, he's gonna tell you the angle, which way. He breaks it down to make it better for you. So I got a lot of respect for him.
Absolutely. He says, humble fan, much love. Absolutely, much love to you too, my friend. Keep up the great work. But I think it's a great fight for Devin. Like it'll be I don't know if I said this the last live pops, but if Devin wins, if this fight gets made and Devin Haney winds up winning, Devin will actually be the first undisputed lightweight champion since Pernell Whitaker.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so
that's good.
I already told when I was at the Devin Haney gym, I should have told Bill this, but I just did it for some reason. But I was talking to Church. I was talking, the hype man Church, and I was telling Church. I said, look, you guys need to get this fight done before April. Before Ryan fights, your goal should be before Ryan fights. Please, for the love of God, get the fight done. And I was trying to explain to him that Tego is promoted and managed by DeBella and Peter Khan. And they're using Tego, they're casting it on Tego to set up a George versus Ryan fight. So,
yeah, one point that I was bringing out I know that Kambosos wants to fight Haney just to get the WC belt, which he doesn't care, but he'd rather just get it to put it end to all the stuff about it, right? But honestly, I'm gonna say like this: I remember when he talked to Haney after the fight at the auditorium when you interviewed him, and Haney said, "Well, let's make this fight happen." And Kambosos looked him in the face and says, "If the money is right." So the money's gotta be right. Bottom line, or whatever he calls, they gotta get it done. Because if they don't, Garcia will sell more. He might not have that belt, but he will sell more, put people more in the seats than Haney.
Who cares? They're in Australia. They're not coming to see Ryan or Devin. They're not coming to see Ryan. They're not coming to see Devin. They're coming to see George. They fight in Australia.
Yeah, but I'm saying, if the fight was okay, let's reverse it. If they were to come to the U.S., I hope they don't get a rematch clause because Eddie.
They're not coming to the U.S. They're not coming to the U.S. Get that out of your head. They're not coming to the U.S. They're going to Australia. Get that out of your head.
No, I know that the first fight will go to who's to say that they're going to bring him make more money over here?
We'll have to see. Hold on, Pops. Shout out to my guy, Perfect Punch Boxing. He says, when are you coming on the channel? Yeah, because I told him I was going to go on the channel. Well,
yeah.
I know there was one day I was supposed to come on. Let me see. What's going on this week?
He's busy.
Fuck.
He's busy. I'm telling you.
Just message me, bro. I can't. I don't have an answer right now. You have my Instagram. Just message me, bro. Like communicate me on there because I can't answer that on the spot because I don't even know what I'm doing the rest of today, let alone.
Yeah, I mean, you got H Money waiting for me to go on the show for the longest time.
No, I've gone on H Money show before.
Okay.
But I told Perfect Punch Boxing I'd go on there. There was one day where I think it was like the fight week of Lee Wood, Michael Conlon. It just didn't happen, so I gotta honor that. I gotta honor that. Oh, Boxing Gem! Shout out to my main man, 50 grand Boxing Gem with the $10 super chat, and I'm sure you watch the channel. So as you guys know, when the super chats come out, so does my main man Don King. So Don King, talk to him.
Hey everybody, let's have some fun. You don't live but once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll. It don't matter whether you're young or old. Let the good times roll.
That's right. And let the good times roll. We will. And another guy who likes to let the good times roll is my main man, the big bad booty daddy, Scott Steiner. Talk to him.
The fucking
I like that one too.
And it's only a matter of time because they call me the big bad booty daddy.
There you go. Shout out to my man Boxing Gems. Thank you, champ. He says, salute to a YouTube boxing community OG, and shout out to Pops too. And thank you, champ. I really do appreciate it.
Thank
again, you. I'm gonna plug it again because it's worth it. Listen, I can't really say this about too much channels, and I'm being very authentic when I say this. Please, it's not because he's my friend or he's super. I'm telling y'all for your own good. Go subscribe to Boxing Gems. It'll really help you out as far as understanding the sport. You know what I'm saying? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Let me see. D says Ryan Garcia sold 4,000 tickets his last fight and has never been on pay-per-view. So the whole idea of Ryan being a cash cow is also a myth. That is very true. We don't really know how big of a draw he is. We just know that he has a big Instagram following and he's able to garner a lot of interest on social media, which is worth something in this day and age. But there's a difference between being having a fan base on social media and having a fan base at the fights, at the gates, in the stands. So we'll see how it goes. I think the problem with a lot of fighters, Pops, is that a lot of fighters these days are having a hard time building a fan base because they're just not active enough. And there's so many things. There's so many other fighters in boxing. There's so many other entertainment options in the world. If you're not constantly in front of people, it's like out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah. Will you? D also commented on this, Brandon. I want you to see this. I didn't agree with it, but you might have your own opinion on this one.
Pops, where is it? It's not there no more.
Right now.
Pops, Joshua is the most famous current boxer around the world. Therefore, he is the face of boxing. Canelo is a niche cash cow and an icon of a particular demographic. Joshua is a worldwide phenomenon. I can see that. Like, that kind of goes back to what I was saying. Like, Canelo is a big name. Like, don't get me wrong, he sells a lot of tickets, particularly here on the West Coast. But I was even having this conversation with my friend Sean recently. Like, Canelo is huge in the Latin American market, the Mexican market, and especially here on the West Coast, like in Vegas, LA, them areas. But like I was telling Sean, I was telling Sean this, that his name don't really hold as much weight on the East Coast. Like, what's good? Hold on, Pops. Talk to him, Pops.
Yeah. I asked BT to give you his personal opinion on this because I think it's worthy that he told you. I have my own opinion, but he can tell you his perspective on it. So that way we get two perspectives on it, and more so him. He will, So right now, I want him to reiterate that comment and literally share it with you and let you know what you think. Because I have my point of view on it, but I think where he's going is what you were saying. So you're probably going to be 100% right with what you say, D. I just want to give you props on it. Well, like he was saying, Canelo is he's got the Mexican population, he's got the South American, and so forth and so forth. Like you said, he's a demographic phenomenon.
Yeah, what I was saying though about AJ is like, or Canelo is like, his name doesn't hold as much weight on the East Coast as it does like the western part of America. Anthony Joshua got Nigeria, he got the UK, he got Dubai, he got like multiple countries that like really fuck with him. So it's definitely an argument.
Okay, all right. I want her to get your insight also. That's all. Yeah.
Ernie Rodriguez says Canelo should box in New York. He already has. He boxed Rocky Fielding there on his first fight when he fought on DAZN.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. I know. Is there any other comments, Pops, that I missed when I wasn't here? Because you were on for like a solid hour. I didn't really get a chance to catch much of the live.
I don't see any more comments on you. I was just telling what I was saying. I'm just basically like going to say again. I think the Kambosos fight. I don't think people are saying that Kambosos is ducking. Has been ducking.
Well, this is an old comment from Hyro. Hyro says, "I don't see this fight happening. Why does Kambosos have a deadline on him? If he were to negotiate, that person would have more time, and the date won't change." Well, look. Personally, I've been telling y'all for like well over a month. You can choose to listen. You can, and mind you, I said this before Robert Garcia had the interview on Little Giant Boxing. I said this before a lot of people had this theory. I was the first person to say this. Okay, all right. I think all roads lead to Ryan Garcia, and I'm sticking with it. Every day that George Kambosos don't have a fight sign, I'm thinking it's gonna be Ryan Garcia who gets this fight.
You even had that feeling when you actually went to talk to the Haneys last night?
I don't want to get too deep into what we talked about, but like I'm more after seeing the Haneys and picking their brains about the fights. I'm more optimistic that they're fighting Ryan Garcia, George Kambosos. I'm like as optimistic as I've ever been.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
just it's not, because like
I mean, how much? It's a massive fight, right? So they either way, both teams are gonna make good money, right? So I mean,
what,
I mean,
Devin and George.
yeah. What I'm saying is, okay, I would if it was me fighting Kambosos, I would just go ahead and take the fight for whatever they offer. If I win the belts, then I'll be the A side. I can do whatever I want. Like we don't know.
But like Pops, like I like Devin, and I'm not trying to talk bad about him, but like Devin Haney has been treated like a superstar his entire career, and he's gonna want. He already gets paid like obscene amounts of money from DAZN and Eddie Hearn. He's gonna want something crazy for this fight. Like this could be a scenario. I really think one or two things gonna happen. I think either A, Devin is gonna price himself out, or B, they'll just go back on social media and they won't get into any sort of real negotiations. But I'm hoping and I'm praying to God that the fight can get done, because I've been telling you for a long time, the guy that I want to see fight George is Devin Haney. And I think if the fight does get signed and he does box George, he will beat George.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, but to go to that point, we say in the past we were saying that Eddie Hearns and Matchroom overpaid for a lot of fights, so I wouldn't do the same thing for Haney's part. You know what I mean?
Because Devin Haney's not Canelo, a global star of sport.
Oh.
You know Eddie Hearns, Canelo, a global star of sport.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
mate, fuck me. Could you imagine Canelo at Wembley Stadium?
He was saying that Canelo. I'm butchering the Eddie Hearns impression. That Devin Haney is the best 135 pound in the world.
What happened?
You know, Eddie Hearns is a good salesman. You know what I mean?
He is. Bill Haney was here in Honolulu last month. Very nice fellow. I hope his son David Haney gets fired. George. Bill Haney is amazing. I love Bill. He's a loyal viewer of this channel. He might be watching this now. I love Bill. I got nothing but positive things to say about Bill, and I hope. I mean, I respect what he's done for his son, because they've taken a very hard route to get to where they are in the sport, and it's paid dividends for them as far as making money from the sport and getting that part out of it. But now it's the part that the fans care about, which is the legacy part, the competitive side. And I think he needs this fight. Like Teofimo Lopez around this time last year was the guy at 135. He's lost. People aren't really high on him like they were a year ago. Shakur has his big fight with Valdez coming up. We don't know what will happen with that, but people think Shakur will win. But you just don't know until fight night. I think this is Devin's chance to really step into being that star that the sport is looking for, especially here in America.
You think, for argument's sake, you think that even him winning those belts, he's going to become an instant star? I don't think so.
Yes. Absolutely. He's the first undisputed lightweight champion since Pernell Whitaker.
That's what you know. I know. But I'm saying the average casual fan don't know all that shit.
Devin Haney's already kind of like known by casuals. He's already like I'm not saying he's like extremely known, but like some people know who Devin is in America. Like he has a little bit of a fan base.
Yeah. How
can Haney price himself out when his network is the one putting on the fight? By demanding a certain amount of money. That's how. Mm-hmm. They may say, well, George may tell Devin, well, I'm going to offer you $3 million. And Devin's going to say, fuck you, George. I deserve $9 million. You know, there's always, trust me, when it comes to pricing yourself out of a fight, there's always a way to get out. There's always a way. My friend who works in the community in Texas says that one of the sanctioning bodies is going to make Ryan Garcia a final eliminator. A year and a half ago, the WBO ordered Taker versus Ryan. Yeah, I remember that, and I remember when that happened around that time. I actually my damn self interviewed Emmanuel Tago, probably one of the only Emmanuel Tago interviews on an American channel.
Right. Yeah, I think Haney's gonna have to go out there and do what he's got to do, and he's got to go take it. He's gonna have to take the belts from Kambosos. Kambosos is not gonna fold.
Yeah, Ryan is fighting in April, and Kambosos is going to be active for months if he waits for Ryan. It will be bad for Kambosos. Well, listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna scream it from the fucking mountaintops if I have to. If they don't get this damn deal done before Ryan fights, that's what's gonna happen. Ryan gonna wind up fighting.
Didn't he? I think I was reading they have a deadline till tomorrow, right, Brandon?
I believe it was. Yeah, I believe it's tomorrow. Yeah.
Wow. Do you agree with that? What Kambosos is doing that to him, or just a game?
No, make the damn fight. What's the issue? As long as look, what I do think is I don't know what the terms of the offers are. So like I told you many times, you don't really know what the offers are behind closed doors. They could be saying, they could say, I'll fight Devin Haney. I'll make you an offer for 50 cents, and he turns it down. Oh, he turned it down. He's ducking. You know?
yeah. I see what you're saying.
Let me see. Yeah, I would love to see that. Listen, make the fight happen. That's all I'm saying. Make the damn fight happen. Gerald Morgan, again, he says, I think Devin's stock will grow higher after defeating George Kambosos. He has a great team around him. LOL. I didn't know Bill was taller than Devin. Great young fighter. Yes, no, really good fighter. I still think for him, the best has really yet to come. I personally, for me, I want this fight to get done and dusted because I would like to see Devin go up to 140. I want to see Devin at 140. I feel like, he's good at 35, but his body's maturing. For the last time I was here in Vegas, I did get to see him train a little bit. From the last time I seen him in Vegas, he looks a little bit stronger than the last time I seen him.
Do you think at 140 him and Teofimo can have a fight there? Could you see that?
Maybe. I really don't even care if it happens at this point. Teo gotta be Teo just gotta get back on a winning track.
Yes. Yeah, somebody was saying in the live that will Teo get, because he's going up, if he moves up to 140, is he going to get a title shot right away? I said no, he's going to have to earn it.
No, he's getting a title shot right away. He's in the fight for the WBO belt. Yeah, he's in the fight for the WBO belt. He's in the fight. If Josh Taylor vacates, which he probably will, there's all these reports coming out saying he's in the fight Liam Paro.
Oh, okay. So then one of the subscribers on the channel was right. Then he was telling me that. He said that
he's fighting straight away for the WBO.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, Bill. Listen, Bill wants that Teofimo fight.
Yeah, they'll make money off of that, I think.
I'm kind of over it. I want to see Teo get a win if he can. Which, by the way, look, Liam Paro is no slouch. Liam Paro is gonna give Teo a good fight. Right. Anybody right now with the way Teo lost to George and everything that's happened in his career, you just don't know where he's at. You don't know what's gonna happen when he gets back in that ring again. So I think you can't really write off anybody, especially not someone who's a young, undefeated, hungry fighter like a Liam Paro. Southpaw, good boxer. I was actually talking to Devin Haney yesterday. Me and Sean were talking to Devin Haney yesterday, and Devin was talking about we actually talked about that fight, Liam versus Teo, and he said Liam Paro was really good. He told me that when they sparred, because the last time I was here in Vegas, Liam Paro was sparring all around gyms in Vegas. He was sparring with Shakur Stevenson. He was sparring with Devin. Devin told me Liam Paro is a really good fighter. Doesn't have the most pop, but can box really well.
Yeah. So you see big things happening from Haney then if he goes there and beats Kambosos.
There's no way he can't. Big things can happen for him. There's just no way. The only way things could go wrong for him is if he does what Teo did and signs a Triller or a company that they can't get him to the fight or something like that, or if he sits on the belts and doesn't want to fight anybody. I think if Devin can beat George, which again that's not a gimme either, because look, the good thing about this fight with George is George is probably one of the only guys at lightweight that can match Devin's speed. So the interesting thing about that fight is going to be seeing how can Devin Haney actually lower the punch output of George, and how will he deal with the speed? Because we know with guys like Linares and Gamboa and these older veteran fighters he's been fighting, he's got a clear cut speed advantage over these guys. And with George, I'm not so sure he has that much of if he has a speed advantage, it ain't that wide of a speed advantage. So matching speed for speed is going to be a great fight. If it happens,
I like what Haney brought out. One thing that I like about Haney that Haney brought out was that he said you can have all the speed in the world, but I have my timing. So I think what he's basically was telling Kambosos is you can come bring all the speed you want, but I'm going to catch you with my timing. What do you think?
We'll see, man. I think Devin's one of the smartest fighters out there, and his timing could be the difference. But shout out to my guy Johnny Berber. He says, BT and Pops, who do you got out of Liam Smith and Jesse Vargas? Now, I gotta be real with you, Johnny. This is a fight that keeps getting promoted. I don't know why. I'm not really like the most excited for the fight. Like they're trying to create this beef between Jesse Vargas and Liam Smith out of nowhere. I really don't know, to be honest with you. I would probably lean slightly towards Jesse Vargas just because I think he's the harder puncher, and I think he's a better fighter. But Jesse Vargas is out here doing Congress work and all this stuff, so I'm not even sure like how much really in tune he is with his boxing training. He said he's talking a great game. He's saying I want to make this guy pay for his words, all that type of stuff, but he's got a lot of things going on outside of boxing, so I'm just not so sure or so sold on just where he's at with his commitment to the sport.
So are you questioning his dedication now that he's in politics?
Yeah, 100%. You should.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, look, Jesse Vargas is one of these guys like Chris Algieri to where he's been world champion. He's made good money for himself outside of boxing. Like Jesse Vargas don't got to box to make money, Pops. Like, the dude is very well off. He's one of the few guys. He's one of the few guys in boxing. I got so much respect for Jesse Vargas because he's one of the few guys in boxing that played the game and didn't let the game play him. This is a guy who consistently gets ridiculously overpaid. I don't know how he does it, but he makes it happen. He makes it happen. He got like $3 or $4 million when he fought Mikey. He got like another multiple million when he fought Pacquiao. He's made a lot of money as an English and Spanish commentator. I got so much respect for him, but should be a good fight. I believe it's co-main event on Serrano versus Taylor, so look out for it.
Yeah.
Jesus says, BT, do the H Money impression with Haney ducking Kambosos, please. What's going on? It's your boy H Money, Mr. DAZN. We in the building. Let's get it. Devin Haney is ducking George Kambosos Jr.
Yeah.
Jesse Vargas had a draw with Adrian Broner in 2018. He did. And listen, this is a guy in Vargas who was the former welterweight, former WBO champion, beat Saddam Ali. He was good. People forget how good he was at one point. He fought Pacquiao, Garcia, Broner, all millions in one fight. Yeah, bro, he was cashing out.
Yeah, that's crazy. But hey, man, this is America. We get that land opportunity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He did the right thing. He went in and took advantage.
No, absolutely. I mean, what else is going on in boxing, Pop? I know this weekend we got a lot of fights going on. We got
the Tim Tszyu, man. I'm crazy. I'm really down for the Tim Tszyu fight. I want to see Michelle Rivera against Bless Hands Adorno. I think Michelle's gonna beat the shit out of him.
You think so? Why you say that?
I just like. I remember when I seen Joseph Adorno, and you tell me that don't look at his last fight when he was in Orlando. How he fought, how
can you possibly remember his last fight in Orlando when you couldn't even remember the opponent when Jermaine Ortiz fought on the show? Like I said, Pops, the guy that fought Joseph Adorno. You said I don't remember him. So what you mean?
No, I know his name, but what I'm saying is I think that Michelle Rivera is upcoming talent. I'm pulling for Michelle Rivera, even though Adorno's Puerto Rican. I'll go with Michelle Rivera.
Okay, you don't support Puerto Rican fighters. You don't like
I do. I do. I love all Puerto Rican fighters.
Let me ask you a question because Michael McKinson came out recently and he talked about Virgil Ortiz not making 147 again. By the way, shout out to my guy Michael McKinson because he watches the channel. I really do appreciate him watching the channel and stuff. But like, do you think Virgil Ortiz will ever make 147 again? Because he's a big kid. And I know they're gonna talk about fights at 147 for him, but I don't see it. He's big.
I think wasn't it you told me you seen him? He was standing against. I was standing in front of 154. He looked real big. You say that he was. I forgot who you told me about.
He was standing next to Castaño. Castaño looked like the welterweight.
Yeah, so that says a lot. But I don't think after this serious health thing, I don't think they should give him a try it. That's my opinion.
Yeah, because shout out to my guy Chris Andre. By the way, another channel, Chris Andre Boxing. Go subscribe to him. He says Vargas is the superior boxer, but Liam Smith is a very effective pressure fighter. As BT says, with the Korean politics now, does Vargas have the mentality that will carry him through with that fight? I don't know. We don't really know until the fight happens. Like I said, he doesn't need boxing. He's reached that point in his career where he's got, not to watch his money, but he's got multiple streams of income. He does well for himself.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
He's had success. He's had success in boxing,
Virgil Ortiz, I asked some questions about his weight. Maybe I'm more than 154. That's what has to happen next. He's big. He is a gargoyle of a man at 147. I've seen him in person. I know he's big. He's a big kid. I'm hoping for his sake. Look, there was the whole thing where Blair Cobbs accused him of steroid use, whatever, because his condition was apparently linked to steroid use, whatever. But he needs to do his best for his health. At 147, even if he came back, do people like if he came back, who's he gonna fight? McKinson? McKinson won, and I give him all the credit in the world because of the situation he went through. But after the fight that he had with Alex Martin, which was a very negative fight, a lot of people aren't looking forward to seeing McKinson fight Virgil. So who would he realistically fight that he could get next?
But if he goes to 154, do you feel that he will still be still be labeled the next superstar at 154 like he is in 147 because of his talents?
Yeah, he hasn't lost yet.
Yeah, okay.
He hasn't lost yet.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so would you say that if he goes to 154, then would you say that Boots Ennis would be the next coming star at 147?
I don't know because he has to win his fights. I'm not crying. I'm not crying at none of these dudes. Hell no. You gotta get up in there and fucking fight. I'm past that. We're not crying on nobody until you actually listen. I like Boots. I think he's very talented. Let's see him go some rounds. Let's see him go some rounds. Let's see him go some rounds. Let's make the fights happen. I'm gonna tell you why possible. I'm not crying on nobody no more. Because what happens is the boxing public starts crying these guys before they ever do anything, and then the promoters and managers and networks use the boxing fans hyping these guys up to protect them. So we're not doing that here on True School Sports. I'm not contributing to these guys being protected. Hell no.
Right.
So if they're superstars, how about they do what Oscar De La Hoya did? Like I was watching a couple of Oscar De La Hoya fights the other night. It's actually ridiculous, Pops, how far boxing fighter development has fallen. Because when Oscar was 20, when Oscar De La Hoya was 23, he had already fought Rafael Ruelas. He had fought John Molina. He was already fighting the likes of Julio Cesar Chavez. Okay, by the time he was 23, he had already fought multiple top 10 guys, world champions, former world champions, future all-time greats. Now the guys get to 26 and we're still saying, they need more prospect building fights. Fucking Oscar De La Hoya was fighting top 10 contenders at 22, 23 years old.
Yeah.
Now, I know not everybody's Oscar De La Hoya. I know not everybody's a USA gold medalist, 5-time national Golden Glove champion. I get all that, but I'm just saying, I say that to say that, I can't watch old school boxing all the time because it'll sometimes depress me about what's going on now. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I appreciate the fighters, but it'll really put me in a pessimistic mood about fighters now. I'm not going to name no names, Pops, but there's a fighter right now that's undefeated that fights for a big-time promotional company. I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to say what promotional company he's with, but he's known. He's known. He's 17, 18 and 0. And someone told me recently that this particular fighter was offered a fight against another undefeated prospect, and he said, "No, I want to. Why would I fight him? That's kind of a hard fight. I want to fight the old veteran." And man, the guy is not a big name yet, and his biggest claim to fame is beating another guy's leftover. I'm gonna say it as that.
That's crazy.
I'm not gonna say who it was. I'm not gonna name weight classes. I'm not gonna name a promotional company. But if I told you who you guys was, you wouldn't believe it. It's ridiculous.
I understand that because in the boxing game, when a fighter goes to a different division or he's coming up, they give him all these easy fights or whatever. But once you get up to the level you want to be at, and you want to stop fighting the real fighters and real fighters, you can't be getting you can't have that attitude and say, okay, I'm gonna fight garbage cans I'll still stay undefeated and I'm still a champion. No, you can't do that. I'm going to fight a retired fighter that has one leg and I'm going to get credit and still be undefeated. No.
Yeah. Gerald Morgan says, very respected young brother. Mike Tyson was 20-year-old champion. Guy was undisputed champion. Oscar was a young champ. Mayweather was 24 and doing a lot in the sport. You are spot on. Roman Cholatito Gonzalez was 21 years old when he won his first world title. When Cholatito Gonzalez beat Yutaka Nida to win the WBA minimum weight title, he was 21 years old with like less than 20, he had like 22 fights. So
right.
it's just like I'm not saying everybody has to be these guys because everybody has their own path. Some guys don't have big amateur backgrounds, so you got to be more cautious of how you match them early on. But there's some really talented fighters in the sport that are ready to fight top tier guys, and a lot of times we do blame promoters, and sometimes it is the promoter's fault. But I know there's some guys who are fighting on certain promotional companies that get offered fights, and I know I'm not gonna say the names, but I know that they turned them down and they didn't want the fights and that they wanted to fight these faded veterans.
Well,
I'll tell you, after the live is over, Pop, I'll tell you who it is.
Yeah, but I'm saying how can you like if you don't want to fight the best to make it a legacy is based on what you fight and who the best they are, who you fight. The best of the best, the cream of the crop, or whatever you want to call it, the cream of the cream. If you're these fighters that feel like if you fight like leftovers or you fight a lower tier level fighters, how can you literally go to bed and say, okay, well, I'm still great because I'm still got zero. Yeah, a zero with a hero with no value to it. Really, that's how I see it.
Yeah,
you gotta have something.
Demon Slayer says, and then on the flip side, we have Donaire, who seems to have found himself on something because he still looks super dangerous. Yeah, because he's willing to go out there and fight. And he's got guys in the weight class that are willing to go out there and fight. So shout out to Donaire, a true warrior of the sport. Chris Andre says, BT and Pops, a lot of times it's the fans' fault for fighters not taking risks too, because unlike in the past, one loss and fans write them off. Absolutely. I mean, I'll use an example, right? I'll use a perfect example. My guy. One of my best friends in boxing. One of my only, I'm not really friends with fighters, so you'll never really hear me say this about too many fighters. But one of my, Angelo Leo, who was WBO champion, his only loss came to Stephen Fulton. And by the way, that was a really fun fight. It wasn't like it was a fight where it wasn't fun to watch. It wasn't like it was a fight where early on he showed that he belonged. Fulton kind of showed his level over time. But Angelo still showed he's one of the top 122 pounders out there. He lost to him, and now he kind of gets overlooked when it comes to the 122, 126 pounders. So, you have a point. One loss, so it is the fans' fault. But at the same time, there's some fighters that really can't afford to be marinating fights, and they're trying to marinate fights that aren't pay-per-view fights. So it's a bit of both.
Yeah, well, I mean, at this time of an age, I'll blame for example, at this time and age, I'll blame PBC, the way PBC putting on those pay-per-views the last couple of times, but no really big name stars, no big thing, and no this and that, just to make money, and people are willing to pay for that. So part of it is the fans,
Yeah.
That's what I feel. Part of it's the fans just going out there. Oh, what's up? I forgot. I ain't gonna say his name. He's a well-known channel. And he came on that channel. He said, "Oh yeah, well, I think one time we're talking for the sake of argument." He was like, "Well, I'll just pay for it because I'm an avid fan. I just go pay for this." So I'm like, "What the fuck?" So you're gonna pay $30? You're not getting the same quality or value what you spend your money for? No. And what I'm getting at, that part of the problem is also the Showtime, PBC, and whatever you want to call it. But when they put less quality into the fights, into the value of the money for the fights, and people actually paying for it, then you're stupid to do that.
Yeah, it is also worth noting, Pops, that Elvis Rodriguez is fighting this weekend against
I know. Jose That's why I like that card. I like that card. I'm excited about Elvis Rodriguez. I like him when he gets a knockdown. I don't think Top Rank should have got rid of him. They did the stupidest thing.
Who, Elvis Rodriguez? Why is it stupid?
He's been winning. He was winning. He lost one time, and you told him get the hell out of here.
He got exposed by my boy Kenneth Sims Jr.
Okay, I love that. I love Kenneth Sims and everything, but still, he's still.
The real issue isn't. I'll tell you this: you making a big deal about him getting cut. The real issue isn't Elvis Rodriguez getting cut. The real issue is why ain't Kenneth Sims Jr. getting some fights? He knocked off the big bad Elvis Rodriguez. Why has Hold on.
Yeah.
Answer me this question. Why has Kenneth Simmons Jr. only fought one time since he beat Elvis Rodriguez? That's the real question.
Okay,
Can someone
then
give me an answer on that?
but where's the promoter and the manager for that?
I
Ain't
know,
they
like
supposed to be there?
I interviewed Kenneth Sims recently with Sean, and he said that Top Rank is looking at maybe him fighting Arnold Barbosa Jr. next. That was one of the fights that was brought up to him, which I
Right.
think is a
Well,
good fight. He also did, like, I asked, I said, TFE was coming up to 140. Would you want that fight? He said, yeah, I have no problems welcoming him to 140. But
oh shit!
Top Rank will make that fight because that's a tough fight for T.O. and they're trying to get him a win, and that ain't the fight they want.
Yeah, but I'm at the same token. For Kenneth Smith, he's going to get all the opportunity now. But I still feel that because Kenneth Smith beat the shit out of him, doesn't mean that that there's no reason for you to just cut off Elvis Rodriguez. I mean, thank God PBC signed him, whatever, and he's there again. I think he's still an exciting fighter for me. I don't think that you should just let somebody go because you got exposed one time. I don't agree with that. He was still talented. He was knocking everybody else out.
Yeah, he was good. He was good. Listen, he lost. Top Rank saw something they didn't like. That's on them. But Boxing Gem says, but if fighters have the courage to take that risk and they really belong at that level they're at, they can get back. Look at Lomachenko, Ugas. Look at those guys he named, Pops. All them guys. I mean, I'll start with Ugas, right? Ugas lost to he lost a couple fights, and then his third pro loss was against Amir Young Master Imam. When he lost to Amir Young Master Imam, people at that point he's pretty much labeled a bust. Like, he's a bust. He ain't gonna be shit in the pros. Forget him. He's not going nowhere. And what did he do? I mean, this guy took on tough fights. He fought undefeated Jamal James for like 10 grand. He fought like Ray Robinson, who at the time, Ray Robinson, I believe, was undefeated when he fought him. To this very day, Ugas, even though he's not known as a puncher, he's the only guy that stopped Ray Robinson. Josh Kelly didn't stop Ray Robinson. He fought him to a draw in a fight that people thought he lost to Ray Robinson. Kavaluskis didn't even stop Ray Robinson, but Ugas did. That's why Ugas is fighting Spence pay-per-view, and that's why a lot of these guys aren't where he's at. But look at Lomachenko. Look at the great Sean Porter. Sean Porter he lost to Kell Brook, came back, beat Danny Garcia, became WBC champ. So it can happen. A loss doesn't always break. I feel like people need to stop even. We need to stop even just saying that. Like, we need to start saying, you know what? We need to talk more about these guys. Look at Charlatito. Charlatito got knocked the hell out by Rungvisai. He was done. Yeah. They threw in the wolves. They said he was done. Came back, became WBA super flyweight champion. Defended the belt. Had a great performance against Gaio Estrada. Got robbed, but had a great performance nonetheless. And look at him now. Still beating up on guys at 34 years old. So
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree 100% with Boxing James. But that comment he brought out there is true. Because I can remember when we can talk about this all day. You always remind me about Ugas, how he people thought he was done, and look where he came from, and look what he did. Yeah,
because he had a lot of expectations being a bronze medalist, and he was losing fights. I mean, if you go back, Pops, I would even tell you to go watch the fight. Go back and you watch Amir Imam versus Ugas, and listen to the commentary. A lot of people thought Teddy Atlas thought that Amir Imam took that fight too early. Ugas was the favorite in that fight to most people.
Yeah.
That's why it's kind of weird seeing how Amir Imam's career has progressed into pretty much a nothing career where he's faded into obscurity, because he won some fights early on in his career where they were tough fights, good fights.
Well, I think with him, he just got frustrated because he didn't get a mandatory title shot after he beat who he beat. That's what happened to him.
No. He blew his mandatory title shot when he fought Granados and underestimated him. He blew it. He pissed it away.
He blew it. I thought okay.
He blew it. No, you're thinking about Granados. Now, when Granados beat Amir Imam, he was WBC mandatory, and he never got no more fights at one. Like he couldn't get opportunities at 140 anymore. Jesus, he beat Amir Imam better than Jose Ramirez did when Jose Ramirez won the world title, and he never got a title shot at 140. He never fought for a world title because he beat Don King's darling. Think about that.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Go look. He was supposed to fight after he beat Amir Imam. Because Amir Imam was it was for a WBC mandatory spot, so he could have fought Postal next. Even if he didn't fight Postal, he could have fought Provodnikov, That Provider Cup fight didn't happen. That was a fight that was being discussed. Like there were a lot of opportunities he didn't get that he should have got, and that's why guys like him have a sour taste in their mouth from boxing. Because if you don't have certain people behind you, and let's say you fuck around and you beat one of the other promoters' darlings, then sometimes you get frozen out just on general principle. It happens.
What do you think? What do you think about boxing putting on some kind of tournament? I didn't see the whole thing. Some kind of tournament they put out. They're putting out with some. I forgot if it's a lightweights or somebody six fights or something like that. It's like a tournament they're putting out.
I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, I was reading about it. I should have reminded you about it, but I think that's good that Ben Shalom's even doing that. You know that he's doing that.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Boxer initially started doing tournaments like years ago, before Sky Sports put a bunch of money in them and they became somewhat known in the boxing community. They used to have a bunch of tournaments anyway, so that doesn't sound like a new thing.
And what's the deal? I know you don't know the answers because you're not the Gypsy King, the Gypsy with all the answers and everything. But when is this World Boxing Super Series ever going to happen again? I haven't heard anything about it. Are the Sullivan brothers going to do that again, or is that just going to fold? Or what's the deal with that? You don't know, right?
I have not the slightest clue.
I kind of like that, to be honest with you. I like the World Series again. I want to see that again in boxing. I think it's good. Maybe have the heavyweights, right? The lightweights. I want to see all that with the World Boxing Series. I like the trophy they win, the Ali Trophy, and all that. I really like that.
Yeah, someone had asked me earlier about Josue Vargas and who he's fighting next. I have not. It says it's a TBA on ESPN. Maybe if I go to BoxRec, but Josue Vargas, man, I told Pops, and Pops will tell you, I told Pops last year when we watched Josue Vargas fight in Orlando for the Edgar Berlanga card. I told Pops he gonna get knocked the fuck out real soon.
Yeah, it's coming. What are you saying?
He fought the dude. He fought a guy named Willie Shaw, a guy from California who was like 13-2. Willie wasn't the best fighter in the world or anything like that. Wasn't particularly special in any department, but man, he was hitting Josue Vargas with some flush, heavy shots. I told Pops he's a knockout loss waiting to happen. And sure enough, first round, next fight, bang, Ramirez got him right up out of there.
Jesus, yeah. Well, speaking about Ramirez, you don't really weigh much about him. You don't really rank him no high. I mean, he's decent, but I don't think he's high on your list at all. Ramirez?
Who? Jose?
Yeah.
Jose Ramirez is in. He's in.
Yeah, you're not high on him at all with that. And I think I like Jose Ramirez, but you're not really like high on him like I was.
Of course you like Jose. I mean, you like anybody who just comes forward and throws a bunch of punches. That's anybody.
Let me ask you a question. Would you like to see I've been just pondering that. Would you like to see a rematch with Regis based on how Taylor performed last time for the move up? Regis Progress fighting Taylor or Progress fighting Catterall that he called out?
I'd rather see Regis Progress versus Catterall. Taylor moving up. Why are we talking? We shouldn't be talking about Taylor. Taylor not fighting at 40. Like, let's accept it. He's not fighting at 40. He can't make 40. So I like Progress versus Catterall. Catterall deserves something. Catterall deserves something. They robbed the shit out of him.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy. So when he vacates, who gets the belts?
Nobody. They fragment, and then each sanctioning body will order title fights based on the rankings. Wow. We'll have to start the process again of getting an undisputed champion at 140.
Yeah. That's crazy. Wow. Well,
now one SSS wants to know from you, Pops. What is your prediction for Ugas versus Earl Spence?
I'm gonna say Spence. To me, I don't know how he's been looking. I don't care what people tell me that he looks good in the gym, this and that. I want to see Earl Spence under the lights after he had this accident, all this. I want to see what it's all about. I'm gonna tell you like this: Ugas is gonna bring it to him.
Who are you picking, Pops? Please.
What happened?
Who are you picking?
I'm gonna pick slightly Spence, but I think Ugas gonna give him a run for his money.
Spence gonna beat the shit out of Ugas.
You out of your damn mind.
I hope I'm wrong.
I
really hope I'm wrong. I pray to God I'm wrong. I want Ugas to win. I don't like Spence. I'm to a point. I'm a fan of his skills, but because of the Crawford situation and all the politics and the delays and that fight not happening, I'm kind of going sour towards Earl Spence. Please, for the love of God, let Ugas win this fight. Honestly, I would like Ugas to win this fight just for people to stop talking about Crawford versus Spence. Like, because there's too many channels here on YouTube that talk. Their whole channels are based on Crawford and Spence. Like, there's even a guy I saw. There's a guy who I forgot his name. His name's like Spence taking the easy route against. Yeah, like it's getting out of hand. Like, I'm to a point where I'm like, you know what? Whatever it's gonna take for people to stop talking about this damn fight, I'm okay with it at this point.
Yeah, I think, like I said, and you keep telling me that Spence is not Pacquiao is not Spence. Spence is a lot bigger when it comes to fight nights, but 180 or whatever he is. He's big. I think that Spence. I mean, if Pacquiao couldn't get into Ugas, I don't think Spence will either.
Are you really? Are you being serious?
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get deep inside.
I don't think he's like this big.
I don't think he's gonna break. He's gonna break down Ugas like people think he is. He might win the fight, but he's not gonna break him down.
Manny Pacquiao is not even really a welterweight, pops, and he's older and come on, like it's you can't compare them. There's two different styles. Like Spence is he's like a 54-pounder who fights at 47. Pacquiao's a smaller guy. Spence got that volume jab. He throws way more jabs than Pacquiao. He throws way more body punches than Pacquiao. It's a different type of challenge. So I think saying things like, oh well, he's just gonna beat him because or if Pacquiao couldn't do it, then he can't do it. No,
what I'm saying is
that means nothing.
No, but what I'm basing that on, and I keep telling, what I'm basing that on is that Pacquiao's fought every kind of fighters, every kind of a style, and he couldn't get in there on Ugas. And I think, but people are not understanding about Ugas. Ugas is a big guy too. Ugas is big.
He is big. Don't get it twisted. People don't understand how big Ugas is until you get in front of him. He's even me. I've seen Ugas about like 10 times in person, and I'm like, damn, he's big. Yeah,
so I'm not gonna sit there and say that Spence gonna come in there and blah this. No, it's not gonna be a dominant fight for him. I don't think so.
He said Spence beats Ugas. Ugas doesn't initiate offense and utilize his jab more often. And I love that. I 100% agree. To beat Errol Spence, you're gonna have to cut his jab volume in half, meaning that, like, because Spence, as Boxing Gyms pointed out in some of his videos, Spence has one of the highest jab outputs, not just in the welterweight division, but in the whole sport of boxing. So if you're gonna beat him, you're gonna have to neutralize that jab. And if Ugas does not neutralize that jab, he's getting fucking punished. I promise you. And I'm saying this as someone who wants to see Ugas win the fight.
Yeah, I think he's gonna put it. Whatever happens, gonna happen. I still say I want to see Spence under the lights. I don't know what he looks like. I don't know I haven't seen nothing how he looks. So I'm not gonna say maybe the old Spence in the prime could run through Ugas, but I'm not gonna say that this time.
Okay, well we'll see. We'll see. Personally, look, I don't really like we're talking about it, but for being blunt, I really don't care about this fight because it's not Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. Like I've gotten to a point where I cannot. It's hard for me to even enjoy an Errol Spence fight because I know for a fact that he's avoided Terence Crawford. Avoided him. And guess what? There's a big segment of people that have this grand notion that, oh, he's just going to be a man of his word and he's going to clean up his side of the street. It's the English version of escribiendo la historia. He's going to clean up his side of the street and he's just going to call out Crawford after this and they're going to fight. No, absolutely not. He's going to fight Keith Thurman next, or he's going to fight Styles Boutier. Take it to the bank, cash your checks on Sunday.
Well, he did say he's still the big fish.
Huh?
He did say he's still the big fish. I'm just laughing.
What does that mean?
What I say? He said the other day, I'm still the big fish.
Big fish.
I call the shot. No, he said he's a shot caller. He's just called shot caller. Yeah, right. So we'll see.
He better humble himself. I like Errol Spence, but he better humble himself. Big fish. You're the big fish, but when you fought Mikey Garcia, he had more of the crowd. So how are you the big fish?
I know. I'm just telling you what he was saying.
I'm telling you, he's the big fish. But when he fought Mikey Garcia in Texas, in his hometown, he had more of the crowd.
Yeah, you know? You're right. I'm not arguing the point. I'm just thinking that I think like I said, I don't know what he's gonna look like. I mean, any fighter got a 50-50 chance when they're fighting with each other. You know, I think what Uga's trainer said, Salah said, and I like Salah, very respected trainer. He basically said they're going to use his offense against him. They're going to use.
They better find a way to cut down the volume of that jab. If they don't cut down the output of that jab, they're losing this fight. If Errol Spence's jab output is anywhere close to where it normally is, he's winning this fight. It's that simple. This fight is that straightforward.
Yeah, so you're saying his speed on the jab, his movement and everything?
Not his speed. The amount of times that he throws that jab per round. If that does not come down or if the amount of time he throws that jab around does not get cut in half or get dwindled somewhat, Errol Spence is winning this fight.
Okay.
And it's that simple.
Would you say after this fight, the Crawford fight happens?
No, it's not happening. Like, stick that fork in that fight. It's not happening. Okay. Just make sure you have your $90 ready for when Errol Spence and Keith Thurman's on pay-per-view. That's what you need to be ready for. Because that's going to be the next fight.
I don't want to see that. I'm not even up for that, to be honest with you.
When does PBC care about what you want to see, Pops, or what I want to see? What do they care?
That's true.
Most promotional companies, they don't care. Shout out to my guy Boxer. He said it's the stationary high guard true school. We're talking about Spencer Ugas. Because I know Ugas loves that stationary high guard.
Yeah.
You know, I can see Spence just piercing the guard with that jab over and over and over again.
Well, you stay in that high guard, you leave your body open for body shots and stuff, you know? So, I mean, and Spence will capitalize on that.
Am I the only one excited about Spence Ugas? I've been hearing a lot of negative opinions on this fight. I don't think it's a bad fight. In fact, funny enough, Pops, as much shit as I talk about this fight, I might want to go into this fight. Like, I might actually spend money to go to this fight just because I want to. The reason I want to go to this fight has nothing to do with the fight itself. The reason I want to go to this fight, Pops, is because I want to be outside the AT&T Stadium and I want to start asking the Spence fans, when is Errol Spence going to stop ducking Terrence Crawford? I think it would be a great video. I think it'll be great content. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll get people riled up. You know, I think it'd be great. That's literally the only reason I want to go to this fight is to ask the great people of Dallas, Texas, why on God's green earth this guy don't want to fight Terrence Crawford.
Yeah,
and when will it stop?
You already said you want to. You already said that you picked Spence to win the fight too, right?
Yeah. Eddie Morales says the co-main event is the true main event. No, Stanionis versus Butiev. That's the main event. That is the real main event.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, what do you think about King Kong Ortiz want to fight Wilder if he comes back? He said I didn't know he got operated or something. He got hurt. He said he got hurt.
King Kong Ortiz wants to fight Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, I think that's what I think I read on boxing scene. He said his hand got hurt.
Nah, I don't know if that's true, but I mean,
he said he got operated on his hand.
What's the point of that fight? He got knocked out twice.
Huh?
Luis Ortiz already shown us twice. He can't beat Wilder.
Yeah.
Why not for?
I'm just saying, like
he's got a big fight if he fought Philip
Hergovich. That's a crazy fight, BT.
With all
fat ass Ruiz Jr.
With all disrespect, and I'm trying not to be disrespectful, but I have to be in this case. When you bring up guys like Ortiz and you bring up guys like Andy Ruiz, fuck both of them. They both ducked Philip Hergovich. They didn't want no smoke. And the sad part is, right, the extremely sad part about it is, if they would have taken the damn fight, not only would they have fought in an eliminator fight and positioned themselves to potentially become the mandatory for the IBF, they would have been fighting on the Canelo Bivol undercard as a co-main event. So, like, I'm really to a point where, like, I don't care too much about them right now. When did Spence dodge Crawford? Y'all need to stop making shit up. All they're doing is building the fight. Yes, Spence is the shot caller at 147. Spence is not shit at 147 as far as being the shot caller. And when did he dodge Crawford? He dodged Crawford when he went back on his word. He said, oh, let him get a belt and I'll fight him. Then he gets a belt and then he says, oh, you haven't fought nobody in the welterweight division. Let me go the easy route and take and fight Sean Porter. He then also dodged him when Crawford came to his fight and my good buddy Sean Tatel asked him, would you what do you think about Crawford coming to the fight? He said, oh, I don't care. I would never go to his fight. Then years later, he goes to Spence Porter versus Crawford, and when he sees Crawford stop Sean Porter. He walks out the arena before anybody asks him a tough question. I don't want to hear about it, man. I don't want to hear about it. You get me started. I don't care about. I really don't want. I really just until he actually finds the courage. All right. Until I don't know what's in the water in Texas. I don't know what's going on with Jamal Charlo. I don't know what's going on with Spence. But something's in the water in Texas with some of these Texas fighters because they don't want to step up. Now, guys like Jermell fighting, guys like Maurice Hooker, these guys will fight anybody. But something's off with Jamal and Earl, and I don't know because the Texas fighters I know they want some smoke.
Yeah. So who you favorite Tim Tszyu this weekend? What, Terrell Glasha?
Yeah, I mean if Tim Tszyu is as good as I think he is, he should be Terrell Goucher. Terrell Goucher, good fighter, U.S. Olympian, but he's consistently shown he can't get over a certain level. You know, he beat Javante Clark his last fight. Credit to him. But I remember when he fought Erickson Lubin, he posed for 12 rounds. He didn't throw no punches for like 12 rounds. And then when he finally threw a damn punch in the 12th round, he buzzed Erickson Lubin. So, you know, if Tim Tszyu is anywhere close to as good as I think he is, I think he should find a way to beat Terrell Goucher. But I'm not writing out Goucher because I don't disrespect, you know,
any fighter.
Fighters.
Yeah.
But
I don't blame.
Hold on. I don't remember Spence saying anything like that. Saying, you don't? Well, hey, I'm not going to go get the clips for you because, you know, the clips have been on YouTube for like 4 years plus. So if you haven't seen him, that's on you. But he has said, why would I fight you? He told Crawford to his face, why would I fight you when I can go the easy road? But listen, I said I wasn't going to get sucked into talking about this shit, and here I am talking about it. So, Ugas Spence, April 16th, may the best man win. Best of luck to both fighters. May God protect both of them. That's all I'm going to say.
Do you agree with what Zach Parker was saying, that that Boo Andre don't got no legs and he going to knock him down?
Everyone says things until they fight Andre, you know. Liam Williams said a lot of things about Andre. You know, they all say things about Andre. Now, what I will say objectively, as someone who likes Andre a lot as a fighter, I don't think his legs are what they were at 154. I don't think his legs are even what they were a couple years ago. But with that being said, with that being established, you know, I think Zach Parker, he better be careful what he says, because this is the same Zach Parker that when he fought the domestic level fighter Darryl Williams a couple years ago, he got bitch slapped all over the ring, and he was very lucky. He was very lucky to get a decision in his favor. You know, that's a fight that's so bad. I mean, I have never seen a fight where the boxing world unanimously. I mean, I've never seen one person say that Zach Parker actually beat Darryl Williams.
Yeah.
You probably don't even know about that fight, Pops, but Darryl Williams fought Zach Parker like in 2018 or 2019. He was a domestic level fighter. The fight was such a bad robbery. Darryl Williams retired from the sport after the loss.
Damn. Jeez.
Yeah.
What age would you say? I know, like in football, after 4 or 5 years, running backs are more burnt out. At what age do you honestly think that boxers' legs give out on them, or start giving out on them? Or not just that, their skills. Like if you're in the late 30s.
I mean, every fighter is different. It depends on what the fighter's style is. If a fighter is generally speaking, if the fighter is a come forward pressure fighter, his shelf life isn't going to be as long as a guy who's a slick boxer, because the slick boxer is not going to take as much punishment. He's not going to take the slow, sustained beatings in most cases. So there's no direct answer for that. But, you know, I think Andre still has another couple years of fighting at the top level because he's a guy that doesn't get hit a lot.
Yeah. I was watching some of the stories from Riddick Bowe and Holyfield last night. I was at about 2 o'clock just watching the old stories you had on True School Sports. And I like the story that Holyfield brought about Foreman with his hands. He said that when Foreman hit you with those hands, he hit you like this. It felt like a hammer hitting you. He said,
I remember that interview, man. You went deep in them archives last night. I remember that interview. That was from 2017 when I was down at the Heavyweight Factory. Yeah, Riddick Bowe was comparing the power of Mike Tyson and George Foreman, and not Riddick Bowe, Holyfield. Holyfield was comparing the power of Mike Tyson and George Foreman, and basically what he said was that when Mike Tyson hit you, it was like, you know, it was like he was throwing rocks at you, but when Foreman hit you, you know, you can see the punches, but when he hits you, it was like he throws boulders. So Tyson throws rocks, Foreman throws boulders.
Oh, okay. I was watching that one. I was watching a lot of old.
And you know what? And you know what, Black Belt Ben? All right, he did say that. And it is a 50-50 fight. You damn right it's a 50-50 fight. And if it's not a 50-50 fight, then okay, make it 40-40. The winner gets that 20%. It's problem solved. But it ain't no 60-40 fight for Spence. That much is for certain. And personally, I personally don't care. But if we're gonna get into the semantics of arguing about purse splits and stuff, it's not no 60-40 fight. It's a 50. If there was ever a 50-50 fight in boxing, it's this fight. You know? Hold on, Pops. I think I got that Eddie Hearn clip somewhere here. I hope I still have it.
You do?
Let me see. I might still have it. Oh, here it is. Here you go. I'll let Eddie Hearn tell you better than I can.
He'll be a little bit. I don't think Errol Spence really wants to fight Terence Crawford. In all honesty, I think he's going to fight Ugas. Those guys have got to just lose, I guess, a little bit of the chip on the shoulder to think they're bigger than each other. Like it's a 50-50 split. Of course it is. You know. I did more pay-per-view. Fuck. Like just. Neither of you are massive draws on your own. Fight each other if you want to prove who's the best, if you truly believe you can.
There you have it from the man himself, who, by the way, Eddie Hearn don't promote neither of them. So if he was ever going to be unbiased about a freaking fight, it's this one. He don't promote none of them. He got no money in Spence. He got no money in Crawford. And that's about as real of a take on the fight as you're going to get, in my opinion.
Yeah. For sure. I think some people just, to be fair, I think exactly what Tate Washington was just saying. No,
Tate Washington, you're putting words in my mouth. I never said Sean Porter was trash. Sean Porter is a hell of a fighter. I've never said that. But if you want to compare performances, you see what Crawford did to him. You see what Crawford did to Porter. You can say, oh, well, he was outboxing him or Porter was doing. You saw what the result was.
Hey, this past weekend, the apple don't fall far from the tree. This past weekend, when it was Timothy Bradley was talking to Berlanga, the question came up about Spence and Crawford, and he basically said, he gave the flowers to Spence, but somebody said something against Crawford. He said, wake up.
Honestly, I'm to a point like I love Crawford, one of my favorite fighters, but and I like Spence too. He used to be one of my favorite fighters. I used to love I was a big Earl Spence fan up until about the middle of 2018. Then that's when I kind of started to change towards Spence. But I'm kind of I don't like to wish bad on people or I don't hope, but just for the sake of all the semantics, I would love to see one of these guys just take an L. Not because I want them to do bad, just so the bullfighters and all parties involved can learn not to over marinate a fight, because it's been over marinated to a point where it's you guys are really it's been so marinated to a point where we got guys like Virgil and Boots and guys coming up that I'd rather see fight either one of them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're right what you're saying. I mean, it's done. I'll try not to mention that anymore, because I know you're tired of listening about. It's like a broken record being played over and over. Yeah. So yeah. You got any more comments, or I can't see?
I mean, we got plenty of comments. Now, I'll go to Hyro's comment. Hyro said, True School, yo, BT, did you see Lomachenko's manager going off on Mike Cappinger? He went in on him for lying. What did he lie about? I didn't see it, but,
about today?
It ain't the first time, he been caught, God bless him, but he'd been caught a couple times.
Yeah.
Who is Cepeda fighting next? Jose Cepeda, that's who he's speaking about. He'll probably fight Jose Ramirez, because I think they're both number one and number two. That's probably the fight that's gonna happen. I would say either Ramirez or Prograis. Which personally for me, if you left it up to me, I'd like to see Prograis, because Prograis against anybody is a great fight.
And Cepeda's good too now.
Yeah.
Sleeper.
Yeah. Listen, Tay Washington, I see your comment. I'm not gonna get into it. If you want to know what I've said about Crawford and Spence, there's literally 50 videos on it. Okay, neither one of them are big draws on their own. I mean, I said it once. If you didn't catch what Eddie Hearn said the first time, I'll play it for you again.
Be a little bit. I don't think Errol Spence really wants to fight Terence Crawford. In all honesty, I think he's going to fight Ugas. Those guys have got to just lose, I guess, a little bit of the chip on the shoulder to think they're bigger than each other. It's a 50-50 split. Of course it is. I did more pay-per-view. Fuck. Just. Neither of you are massive draws on your own. fight each other if you want to prove who's the best. If you truly believe you can.
There you have it. So I'm not gonna. That's what. Anytime, listen. Anytime, I'm gonna do that. Every time someone comes up in here talking that Spence Crawford bullshit, I'm just gonna play the clip from Eddie Hearn and leave it at that.
That's it. He's neutral. Give a neutral answer.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah,
Shakur Stevenson versus Valdez seems exciting. Yes, and you know what? I gotta say, man, I was talking to I was talking to Devin Haney yesterday in the gym. And I was kind of picking this man about me and Sean Tato. We're picking this man about the fight, and you know, who knows, man? Look, I think Shakur is gonna win. I think Shakur Stevenson is the guy around those weights around the young fighters. But you know, Valdez is no slouch. He's an Olympian. Guys, coming in on a pretty good run of form. You know, we never really seen Shakur caught with anything big, and I think if Valdez hits him, which is gonna be hard because Shakur got that switch where he can just go in the shutdown mode and you're not hitting him. He understands his distance very well. But if he does, I want to see what Shakur's survival instincts are like if he gets taken to that place. That's really the intriguing thing. If Shakur gets caught with anything big, does Valdez have the quality to finish him? And can Shakur smart enough to show that he can survive? That's really, to me, the most interesting of the fight. And also, if Shakur is having a lot of success on the front foot, you know, with combinations and volume punching, can he show the extra bit of quality to stop a Valdez? Like, these are the things that are really exciting for me. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but I was at the Top Rank gym recently. You know, I did see Shakur get some sparring in, about 8 rounds. You know, I can tell you he's looking pretty good. But I'm very intrigued after seeing the sparring. I'm very intrigued to see if he's going to stop him, you know?
Wow. So if you want to see if you're going to be tested, then basically what you're saying, right?
Who, Shakur?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, look, no disrespect to Jamal Herring. I know you, all right. I gotta single you up, Pops. I know you were drinking the Jamal Herring military Kool-Aid and whatnot, but I just think, you know, everybody he's fought so far in his career, he's been about a level or two above almost everybody he's fought. In some cases, 3 or 4 levels above some of his opponents. This is really the first fight where it's like, okay, this is a guy that's really could give him some problems.
Yeah, I mean, to ask Valdez credit, I mean, you know, he's fought some of the best, and he's actually good. He's been experienced and stuff, so he's I think he's a little older than Shakur. So I want to see what's the answer Shakur got for him. You know, Shakur saying though that Rolly's not good or nothing. He doesn't like Rolly for some reason.
He doesn't like Rolly because Rolly criticized him in another interview where he said, and I was there. I mean, I took part of the interview. He criticized another interview where he said that he was talking about Chris Colbert, and he was saying that he's happy that Chris Colbert and Shakur isn't going to happen because if that fight ever happened, the fans will lose because neither one of them have no power.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's why Shakur is saying that. But look, man, I'm gassed for that fight. I can't wait for Rolly versus Tank. You know, Rolly's a freaky. He's very athletic. I've seen him do some things in the gym, which I'm just waiting for him to put it together under lights and do it in the fight. You know, I think it's a much better fight than people give it credit for, and it's a dangerous fight.
Well, like what he said, people don't know. You know, I didn't just get here and get these fights just for like that. I had to earn it to be where I'm at. So you gotta. I just like him because he gives crazy answers, and sometimes he makes sense. You know. Yeah. So now,
Hiro wants me to check out this tweet from Egas Klimas. So I'm gonna have to go on Twitter and see what the hell Egas Klimas said about Michael Coppinger. I'll be honest, Hiro. I'm only doing this because you're Hiro and I really value you, but I really don't care about what Egas Klimas said about Michael Coppinger. But I'm gonna check this.
We already know. I mean, somebody asked me earlier in the live about that, and I'm like, I mean, half the time he's lying. He jumps the gun before.
Oh man, he went off. Hold on. We have to go to the screenshot. He went the hell off. Hold on. Let me go to the screenshot. He went off. I'm actually glad Ivor showed me this. This is worth caring about. Look at this shit. Look at this. Hold on. So we on screenshot now. Shout out to everybody here. Make sure you smash that like button. Definitely super chat. Subscribe for new to the channel. Now this is. I don't know. Can you see it, Pops? Can you see the screen?
Not yet. Hold on. I'll pack him up. Not yet. I see it now. Hold on.
So Roger Coppinger tweeted. He said he tweeted a news tweet. He said, Alexander Usyk received permission from the Ukrainian sports minister to leave the country during the war and begin training for an Anthony Joshua rematch, all that stuff, right?
Right.
Klimas comes out and he says, "Let me tell you something, smart ass. First of all, Usyk does not need special permission to leave the country as he is a father of 3 children. It's Ukrainian law. Before you post anything, check first. Exposed.
Wow.
I don't want to hear it. Exposed again.
Never fails for him.
Freaking Egis Klimas out here getting exposed more than a freaking cheap hooker, man. He's getting exposed.
Yeah, he should never been hired by ESPN anyways.
Mom, listen, I'm not gonna talk bad about him. I'm just saying he got exposed.
Yeah, he jumps the gun too much, and you can't do that, especially with something as serious as the war. You gotta give respect to that at some point.
Anything to be the first guy first, so you can pop your car like this. Like, look at me. Look at me.
Yeah, but I seen the Bob father. He's like 90 years old, and he told him in one interview or something. He told him, "Get this motherfucker out of here. I don't want to see his face. Get him out of here."
Because Bob was talking about he was talking about Teofimo Lopez and how he's been inactive. And Mike in this case is actually telling Bob the truth. He was like, "Look, Bob, if you would have paid him what
he was
wanted,
right.
He was actually right in that case." But Bob was like, "Shut the fuck up, you prick. Get him out of here. Get him out of here."
Yeah. So you got a 90-year-old telling you to get out of here. I'm not gonna say the channel, but there's some channels that just know how to get on that knob, and I might as well say the same thing about Coppinger the same way. Excuse me, get on the doorknob or something. You know what I mean? You got to shine that knob on the doorknob. The bottom line is he wants all that light. He wants that, but you look more like a jackass when you don't come out with the factual truth, especially with something with a war going on, and these fighters get all kinds of shit. It's true. You just can't do that.
One thing about Egis Klimas, he definitely goes to bat for his fighters. You're not gonna be out here on Twitter if you're in a prominent position talking greasy about his fighters or reporting false information and not getting no smoke from Egis Klimas.
Yeah, you got to protect those fighters. Those fighters are doing something serious. It's like
Gerald knows. Gerald knows. He says, "LOL." I remember that Mike took his mask off to look at him, and Bob was furious. Bob was like, "Yeah." No. Mike was like, "Yeah, throw me out. Get me out of here. Get me out of here."
Yeah. But I'm saying, you have to understand. I think I was reading before I came on the live. Eddie Hearn was saying, "Oh yeah, that the Joshua fight has a deadline. That Usyk was going to come over here and blah 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 blah." Then he backtracked and said, "Oh no, no. They're going to do what's right for the country. Bottom line, they're not going to come here and fight when you got your family and everything else going for yourself. It's just not going to happen."
No, absolutely. Now, I haven't heard this. So Joe's actually put me on game. I didn't hear anything about this, but this is actually worth making a video about if it's true. He says Blair Cobbs is claiming he had an injury and is demanding an immediate rematch with Alexis Rocha. Now, look, I was there. It was a good atmosphere at the Galen Center. I enjoyed the fight, even though I didn't get the result I wanted because I wanted Blair Cobbs to win. And I actually owed this girl a bet that I had to pay off. I bet this girl at the fight that was in the media room 50 push-ups, 30 push-ups, but I told her I'd give her 50 because Blair got knocked out with his mouthpiece. So I got to pay up my bet soon on video. But listen, Blair, I don't want to hear none of that. He got everybody excited. The only way I'll like to see that fight again is if Alexis Rocha can't get no fights, and that's the only option. Other than that, I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I don't want to hear no excuse. It's done. Next, on to the next. You know what I'm saying?
This is coming. I love Blair Cobb. Like, trust me, if it was up to me, I would strip everybody the welterweight title and give it Blair Cobb all the belts, just because he's exciting, and he gets people interested.
Yeah,
I wish Crawford and Spence could self-promote like Blair Cobb's. And I wish Blair Cobbs could fight as good as Crawford or Spence. That's what we need in boxing. We need someone that can promote as good as Blair Cobbs themselves and fight as good as Crawford or Spence. I guess the closest thing to that in boxing now probably be like Tyson Fury, maybe, because he's an elite fighter, but he's an elite self-promoter.
Yeah, he's crazy. You see what he did with when White didn't show up for the press conference? He's sitting there talking to himself like White was standing right there. It's crazy.
Man, Eddie Morales, you out here getting disrespectful. He said Alexis Rocha ain't anything special. He's another Williams competitor. Now listen, William Zepeda, listen, I'm sorry. I've seen William Zepeda fight about 4 times. William Zepeda is hot.
Yeah. It's a beast.
No, he's not a beast at all. He's trash. William Zepeda, the minute William, and he's a dirty fighter. We watched his last fight where he fought this awkward dude. I forgot his name, but he fought on the Magia Ballard undercard. The dude dropped him, and then this dude tripped or whatever. It was a slip, and then Zepeda winds up hitting this dude while he's on the floor. Dirty ass punch, and got credit for he got a knockout.
Yeah, that's dirty.
I don't like William Zepeda. You know, there's this loud minority on Twitter that says that William Zepeda is the best 135 pounder in the Golden Boy stable. They're pretty much trying to say he's better than Ryan Garcia. Now, look, I'm no Ryan Garcia fanboy. He is not better than Ryan Garcia. Like we can put that shit in the trash right now. He ain't better than Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, put it down, shut it down. It's not happening.
Pops, let me ask you this question: what do you think about Blair Cobbs against Mario Barrios? I like that fight. That's a good fight.
Man, fuck Mario Barrios. Fuck him.
How you gonna say that? Why you hate on Mario Barrios?
He's fucking lame. Lame was a fucking duck. I don't like.
Some people would say Blair is lame.
Listen, Blair's lame, but Blair brings excitement to the game because he talks a lot of shit and he brings excitement. This motherfucker's dry. This guy's drier than a fucking prune. I'm sorry.
Because he does talking about him. Pops. Could you at least give Mario Barrios the credit of fighting the best? Because his last 2 fights, he fought Tank and then he fought Keith Thurman. So you could at least give him credit for the willingness to step in the ring with top guys.
No. Oh,
why not?
I had a good fight, and the outcome was good, and I did this. No, you didn't. You didn't fucking win. Sit your ass down.
So you're not gonna give him no credit for stepping in with top guys like Gervonta Davis and Keith one-time Thurman back to back. How many guys would do that?
Okay, whatever. I just don't like. I was hype on him. He got my hopes up. Fuck him.
Why were your hopes ever on Mario Barrios?
I just like the way the war thing, how he did this. But I mean, when I seen him, when he lost
I get it. You got happy because you like his little entrances.
Yeah, probably that. And he's got my birthday of all things. Please.
Well, there you go. No,
I don't. I just don't like. And when he lost, says, "Oh, I had a good fight." You didn't have a good fight. Did you win? No. Be quiet.
You heard him. How could you say
then he fought Keith Thurman. Was it Keith Thurman or the other guy he fought first? I forgot which one it was.
Pops, how could you discredit his performance when he hurt Keith Thurman?
Listen, Barrios to me. I'll just watch him. He's a low level, whatever, 147. I have nothing for him. Nothing. No more excitement from that motherfucker for me.
This is why fighters don't take tough fight, Pops. Because you see how you're acting? This is why fighters don't take tough fights.
Okay, but the way he answered after the fight, like he was proud that he stood up with them and he didn't win the fight. No, you didn't win.
Listen, Pops, if you really took any time to watch Mario Barrios before Thurman or Tank, you would know he was never that great. Like when he fought
No, he wasn't, but I'm saying.
When he fought the Russian dude with 7 fights and they gave him the fight, and all, I knew that. I knew when Ryan Carl, when the Cowboy was giving him that work. And listen, I love the Cowboy. Y'all know I'm a huge Ryan Carl fan. He's a cult favorite here on True School Sports, but he's a C-class fighter. A B- at best on his best day. And Mario was kind of even with him through like the first 5 rounds or so. It was kind of a close fight. So I knew then Mario was not on that level. When Tank, I remember when Tank got the fight with Mario, I'm like, man, this is a fucking cherry pick. And everyone was like, BT, BT, you can't say that. Mario Barrios is no joke. If you don't know who Mario Barrios is, you don't know boxing. I'm like, I do know boxing. That's why I'm talking how I'm talking. It's a cherry pick.
Well, I'll give it to him, man. He was making money on the fight, so I'm happy for him.
But I at least give him the credit for stepping into the ring with 2 top guys back to back.
You asking me?
No, I'm not. I know you think you gonna say he nothing, but for me, I'm gonna give him his credit for stepping into the ring with those guys.
All right.
But hey, Chance is feeling what you're saying, Pop. He wants you to speak your mind. Talk to him, Pop. Speak your mind. Tell him how you feel.
Listen, man, this motherfucker, I have my hopes up for him. He's the warrior and all this shit. And then he goes into that fucking ring and he act like motherfuckers ice cream without the ice cream on the ice cream cone. Soft as fuck. He didn't do nothing. He didn't show me anything. I mean, I was just disappointed. And then he gets
Can you say it again? The ice cream on an ice cream on an ice cream cone? How much ice cream are you talking, Pops?
I'm saying ice cream. He's a motherfucking he's motherfucking ice cream on an ice cream cone with no ice cream on it. He fucking shit. He's sorry. I mean, I get it. He made his money. He did his thing. But he was fighting with fucking 2 top level fighters. And then the last fight he had, they asked him what he thought about the fight. You lost, motherfucker. Oh, I had a great time. You know, I did good showing. No, you didn't good showing. You didn't win. You didn't fucking win. So,
Pops, is it possible?
I just got mad because I had a lot of hopes for him.
I have a question.
You did tell me though, BT. You do tell me though. You do call
it. I told you 12 times they were like tune-up cherry picks, and you don't want to listen. So listen. But Pops, so you're saying, is it not possible to have a good performance against a fighter but still lose?
You gotta fight to the levels of the fighter. He didn't. He in both fights he didn't.
You're not answering my question. Is it not possible? Yeah, there you go. I think Chance said it best. Pops is trying to say that Mario Barrios is soft.
That's it. That's it.
I'm not gonna say that.
I'm done with him. I don't care how much money he got. He might have just gone to a dance, whatever. I'm just tired of him.
Pops really has a way with Mario Barrios. I understand how you feel, good sir. You're spot on. Yeah.
But the funny part is, my son says you guys are both Taurus and you guys born the same day.
That's what I'm saying. So basically, when you hate Mario Barrios, you're hating yourself because he was born on the same day as you, May 18th. Stand up. Where all my Taurus is at?
You know the deal on that, BT. I don't know, man. You just got this passive, soft warrior Indian mentality, whatever it is. And I don't like that. If you can't go, I can see you being quiet and passive, and then you become an animal inside the ring. But when you just walking in there and just like nonchalant, you just go into the job to punch in and get your paycheck.
That's how you
That's
feel?
it. But you've always told me, the crazy part, you tell me this about a lot of things, and I never listened to you until it's too late.
Yeah, because you know what winds up happening, I'll tell you this, right? And then like Showtime will come out with a documentary the next day. They're running in the mountains, they're training hard, got the game face on. You're like, yo, he was like, you serious? I said, Pops, he's not gonna win the damn fight.
Yeah.
He's not going to damn fight. Well, I don't know. You know, Mario Barrios is apparently a part-time model. What do you think about that, Pops, about Mario Barrios being a part-time model?
Well, that's exactly what he is, a part-time fighter. He didn't do shit inside the ring. He might as well stick to something else. God bless him. You know? Yeah. I just laugh all the time, but I mean, nah. I don't know what else to tell you, BT. What else you want to talk about, BT? Is anything else? Let me see. I think I have some other things.
Personally, for me, I don't really have anything else I want to talk about. I kind of wanted to wrap it up, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm tired too. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's like what? It's almost 11 o'clock there. So, you know, you got any final message to the people, Pops, before we end the live?
Yeah, God bless. Like I always say, God bless you guys. Thank you for being here. Subscribe, super chat. This is the best boxing channel right here. We say it the way it is, and God bless to you all.
Yeah, and I'll say to you guys, let me see, what's going on this weekend? I'm not really sure about fights going on. I mean, I know I'll be live this weekend for some fight. We'll be live for Kiko Martinez versus Warrington for sure. I'll be live for Tim Tszyu more than likely. So you'll get multiple live fight reactions this weekend. And yeah, there's a lot of good things happening on True School Sports. I got some things going on outside of True School Sports and boxing that you guys may be hearing about soon. Pops, you know what I'm talking about, but we're not going to talk about it here right now.
Yeah.
And lots of boxing on, lots of things to cover. So stay tuned for all future content. You know, I'm in Vegas, so any day I can go to the gym and get an interview. You just never know what you might see on a day-to-day basis here in Vegas. And keep supporting the channel. We're like 1 subscriber away from 41,000. So by the time we go live next time, we'll be at 41,000 subscribers. So I'll say in advance, thank you guys for getting us to 41,000 subscribers. You know, we went from 40 to 41,000 subscribers in just under a month. So I'm over the moon about that. But you guys take care. You know, wherever you're at in the world, take care. God bless. Keep supporting. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.
Thank you, guys.